clock strikes midnight, lights go low. DC's frozen, but the bills still grow. Checks don't clear, rent comes due. Working without pay, what are we supposed to do? Now the dome's just empty halls. Spirit Halloween put up their walls. Rubber masks where the law should be. Selling costumes of democracy. Promises fade in the Capitol fight. Families can't wait for a deal overnight. Insulin costs more than rent in this town. Ghosts of a shutdown haunt all around. Shut it down, but we still carry on. Hearts beat louder when the checks are gone. Voices rise like a protest song. Spirit in the Capitol can't shut us down. Can't shut us down. Can't shut us down. Yeah. Plastic sights and vampire teeth cover the cracks in the marble beneath. A house of masks, a senate of bones, selling tricks while we need loans. Premiums rise, Medicaid falls, but they're busy hanging cobwebs in the halls. Ghost lights flicker, the truth gets blurred when the people are props and the law's just a word. Promises fade in the Capitol fight. Creamers can't wait for a deal overnight. We're not afraid of the threats they sound, even when the spirit shop takes the town. Shut it down, but we still carry on. Hearts beat louder when the checks are gone. Voices rise like a protest song. Spirit in the Capitol can't shut us down. Yeah, Hauser's not a costume, not a mask, not a game, but they swap it for a cape in a plastic flame. Back pays promise, but the rent won't wait. Contractors cut off while the shelves inflate. Skeleton crew runs the nation's floor, while Spirit Halloween sets up shop in the core. This is cosplay power, seasonal lies, but the people are the ones who will never disguise. Shut it down, but we still carry on. Hearts beat louder when the checks are gone. Voices rise like a protest song. Spirit in the Capitol can't shut us down. Shut down scars, but it won't define. The people hold the power, the streets are mine. Every mask fades, every costume's done. Still we carry on till the work is won. Can't shut us down. Can't shut us down.
Oh boy. Good morning. It is Friday, October 10th at 8:13 a.m. EST. You're watching the most radical stream on the internet, featuring the most radical pup on the internet, Umbreon, who seems to have peed on his fur a little bit when he was going to the bathroom. You need a fuzz cut, huh? We need to cut your hair a little bit. Here, I'll clean you up, buddy. It's okay. Poor little dum-dum. Poor little dum-dum. It's okay. Poor guy. So today, obviously, the government is still shut down, and we're going to continue listening to our Spirit in the Halloween song every morning that the government remains shut down, and we're streaming at the same time. But there are a few things to talk about today. I want to dive in, and we're just going to research a bunch of stuff. We're going to learn. We are learning today, all right? This stream is about learning. Learning is radical. We're here to learn. We're going to learn about two very specific things today. We are going to learn, number one, about the recent indictment of Letitia James. And we are going to learn, good morning, Joe Cool. We're going to learn about the recent temporary restraining order on the Trump administration sending the National Guard to Chicago. I believe that's what happened. Yeah, Judge April Perry issued a 2-week TRO blocking Trump's federalization and deployment of Guard troops to Illinois. So we're going to explore both of those things today. We'll probably start. I was going to start with the Letitia James stuff, but I might actually dig into the National Guard ruling first. I'm undecided. Joe, you're in Chicago, right? Do you have any initial thoughts about the that ruling? Do you believe that there's credible evidence justifying the deployment of the National Guard to Chicago based on your experience? They specifically said the court specifically said it found no credible evidence of a rebellion in the state of Illinois, and it flagged the Department of Homeland Security's accounts as unreliable, adding that deploying troops would add fuel to the fire. Good morning, King Blackout. Love the baby Umbreons. Joe Cool says you should look into the ICE shooting where they said cars rammed against, then shot an armed woman in Chicago. It's all falling apart. That is very interesting and disturbing. I will dig into that. Okay, Umbreon. Good morning, Z King. Tell us about your weird dream. What happened with a recent ICE shooting where they said cars rammed against, then shot an armed woman in Chicago? Let's see if we can just get a briefing on this before we dive into the other stuff. That is... Joe Cool says, DHS does not stop crime here. They only go after immigrants. So I'm not sure how they're supposed to keep crime down. Well, I guess they're alleging specifically that there's a rebellion. That's what they're claiming. We're going to dig into it, but that's I believe that the main thing that was disputed by the federal judge, April Perry, I believe. Judge April Perry. I think that, like, what you're pointing out, that is part of, like, the narrative about why they want to send the National Guard to, like, keep crime down. But the main justification is more about enforcing immigration law. Z King says, I had a dream that I was hired to do a construction project with a YouTuber, and we were hired by Donald Trump. Then after some time of doing some work, he comes to check on us, walking his dog, then falls in grass. Okay. Trump has a dog? I guess in your dream. And he was trying to get up while saying some unintelligible shit. Joe Cool says, exactly. That's good. It's a good sign. Perhaps Z King is having a premonition and Donald Trump is going to trip on a dog. Yeah, it is a weird dream, but we love that. We love that for you. We'll see. We'll see if it comes to fruition. So let's see. On October 4th in Chicago's Brighton Park, the Department of Homeland Security says agents fired after cars rammed and boxed them in. Court filings and witnesses dispute key details. So according to DHS, agents in unmarked vehicles were boxed in by 10 cars, rammed, and confronted by a driver with a gun. A Border Patrol agent fired 5 shots, hitting Marimar Martinez. Marimar Martinez? I'm not sure how to say that name exactly. Let's see if I can. Marimar? I don't know if that was better. Marimar Martinez. DHS later said another driver, Anthony Ian Santos Ruiz, rammed an ICE vehicle while following agents. Both Martinez and Ruiz were charged with forcibly assaulting, impeding, and interfering with a federal officer. Why this is contested. So apparently, body cam records, court filings, and witnesses raise contradictions. Only 3 of several Border Patrol body cameras were recording at the moment of the shooting. It says several. Like 3 of how many? DHS first said the incident happened in Broadview, but filings placed it in Brighton Park near 40th and Kedzie. That means nothing to me. How far apart are those places? Joe Cool? Initially, they said the incident happened in Broadview, but filings place it in Brighton Park. You hear about Cecil Brockman? They Not Like Us? Cecil Brockman news. We'll come back to that momentarily. DHS claimed agents were boxed in and that a driver had a semi-automatic weapon. Police audio and witness accounts reportedly indicate Martinez's legal firearm remained in her purse. 35 minutes apart. That's crazy. That is a big difference. I was imagining like a couple blocks maybe. That's wild. 35 minutes is crazy. So DHS said the incident happened in Broadview, but the filings place it in Brighton Park, about allegedly 35 minutes away. That is really interesting. And then witness accounts and police audio, apparently. So not just witness accounts, but police audio and witness accounts reportedly indicate that Martinez's legal firearm remained in her purse. But the DHS claims agents were boxed in and the driver had a semi-automatic weapon. Okay, so they're not necessarily they're not necessarily arguing that she brandished the weapon. They're just saying she had a semi-automatic weapon, which I guess they, in theory, wouldn't even know unless she communicated it to them through the police audio and witness accounts, because according to the police audio and witness accounts, it remained in her purse the whole time. Photos show side damage to Martinez's SUV, front damage to Ruiz's, and minor damage to a silver federal vehicle. So is the implication that they didn't the ramming might have happened from the federal agents instead of the other way around? An attorney says body cam video captured an agent with an assault rifle moments before the shots. I'm not sure the specific relevance of that. I think the agents rammed her, says Z King. Joe Cool says exactly. Very interesting. Man. They just be lying, huh? They just be fucking lying. So shameless. Why lie about the location? It's so weird. Of all things. I wonder if there's some reason they weren't supposed to be in that specific area, or I don't understand. Related context: several separate protests at the Broadview ICE facility. Okay, so they said it would. Okay, they said it happened in Broadview. So the implication is that it happened at the ICE facility. Okay, that's interesting. So separate protests at the Broadview ICE facility led to a video of a pastor being hit with pepper balls and a court order temporarily restricting federal use of force against protesters and setting press protections. That might be what we were just talking about. Or it might be related to what we were just talking about. No one's holding them accountable, that's why? Yeah, for sure. Joe Cool says, I was in Broadview at the time. Okay. How close were you to the ICE facility? You don't have to answer that. DHS defended agents citing rock throwing and fireworks. That's very different than the implications earlier regarding the firearm. Protesters and the pastor dispute that. Oh, you were at the facility? Okay. Where it stands, Martinez was hospitalized and later released. Both defendants are out pending trial on federal charges that carry up to 20 years. I guess we'll see how those charges hold up. But of course, DHS as we can tell already from the narrativization of this. DHS is going to run with the original story, I'm sure. Regardless of the fact that it's all, like, we have a trial that might dispute a lot of their claims. Federal authorities, the FBI and the U.S. Attorney, are investigating. Legal scrutiny focuses on the body cam gaps and conflicting accounts of ramming, boxing in, and the presence/handling of a firearm. Okay. Very interesting. And let's dig briefly into the Cecil Brockman thing. North Carolina Representative Cecil Brockman was arrested on child sex charges. Leaders urge resignation. A 41-year-old Democratic state representative from Guilford County was arrested on Wednesday and charged with 2 counts of statutory sex offense and 2 counts of indecent liberties with a child. Oof. And then it couldn't dig any deeper, I guess. Let's find Cecil Brockman. I'm not even using an ad blocker. Wait, this.
Evening to you, Lauren. Good evening to you, Lauren. Yeah, the representative, he was supposed to go before a judge this afternoon. A Guilford prosecutor tells me that he had a medical emergency and that first court appearance has been now pushed to tomorrow. Meanwhile, there is a chorus of people calling on him right now to leave office. A magistrate says North Carolina Representative Cecil Brockman apparently attempted to contact his victim in the hospital and allegedly used his status to gain information after being arrested on sex charges. The 41-year-old was arrested yesterday. He's facing 4 felony counts. According to his arrest warrant, the victim is 15 years old. Bond was denied. A court official wrote that Brockman has access to abundant resources to aid in his flight from prosecution. The Democrats' own party and Governor Josh Stein are calling on him to resign. Stein said in a statement, "These charges are extremely serious and deeply troubling. While the legal process has yet to play out, it's clear he cannot effectively serve his constituents and should resign immediately." The North Carolina Republican Party is also weighing in. These allegations are abhorrent. If true, there is no place in public service now or in the future for someone accused of these heinous crimes. If Brockman were to resign, the Guilford County's Democratic Party's executive committee would vote on a replacement. Then the governor would have a week to appoint that person to serve the district. So I did call Brockman's office for comment on these charges. The staff tells me that there, at this time, is no prepared comment that he was able to offer. We're live in Raleigh tonight. Elena.
Oofa doofa. Under the age of 15.
So we're looking
crazy.
at showers to arrive to.
Well, not good. Not good, Mr. Brockman. Joe Cool says, I'm going to make tea. BRB, DHS already changed the story. Look up Status Coup News when you get a chance. Just posted a video. Got the new paperwork. Status Coup News.
Congratulations for
Apparently
always
it
being.
just happened. Apparently it just happened. I mean, this is like this was posted. Yeah, absolutely. Your colors stay. Yes, it all persists. What, you guys think I'm a fucking amateur? No, apparently let's see, he's scheduled to appear in court on Friday. So that's today. So I don't know when this actually happened. When did the alleged events occur? Mid-August. Okay. Yeah. I found that line from the North Carolina Republican Party. Oh, let's see. There's no place in public service now or in the future for someone accused of these heinous crimes. I mean, they do say if true. It's just a weird phrasing. If true, There's no place for someone accused of these heinous crimes. I mean, Trump's been accused of some pretty heinous crimes. So, just interesting phrasing there. Let's see. All right, here's shocker. ICE lied about shooting armed Chicago woman. So this is what we were just looking into this a bit. Look, we're already so far off track from the main two things I want to talk about, which is fine. We can dig into these things and then we'll go to the main stories.
She drove herself allegedly for about a mile after this incident to a nearby business where she was found by paramedics.
Here, let me fix the layout here. Good morning, KO Dave.
That was according to the Chicago Fire Department in the immediate aftermath of the shooting. Already starting to chip away a little bit at DHS's version of events. But do you notice too in that statement that the Department of Homeland Security referred over and over again, including in the headline of the press release,
to her being an armed woman. So this is what we were just reading. Apparently, like, according to both police audio and witness accounts, her legal firearm, so she owned the firearm legally, and it was in her purse the entire time. So armed woman in Chicago is an interesting framing. I mean, it's not entirely inaccurate. Like, she does have a weapon. She did have a weapon, but the implication is very different. How did you get orange? What do you mean? Same way anybody can. By using the chat commands, which you all have access to right here. Like, for example, you could do that first command, which is !chat color space hashtag F08C00, and you too could have an orange. It would be a slightly different orange, I believe, than what KO Dave has. But you could do that. Well, there we go. Test it out, Trib. Good morning, Eli Brown. Well, now you have it. You might have been trying it when before I fixed the background color issue. There was a weird like transparency thing where the chat bubble colors were a little off. But yeah, now your text is a little hard to read, but there's your orange. All right.
to the fact that Martinez was armed. You can scroll through this whole thing. It is publicly available. And there is not a single reference made to her having a gun.
There's not even a reference to having a gun in the... Wait, let's see, did they post it?
You want to see what real independent journalism funded by the people for the people looks like?
You ever heard a story like this in America?
You're looking at it.
Congratulations for always being somewhere where mainstream media is not.
Flint, Michigan.
See you in Nevada.
Thanks to people like you, we can get the truth. Corporate media, they've been lying to us for years, and you're going straight to the people.
You are the man. I'm glad you're here.
For as low as 16 cents a day, you'll keep us on
Welcome back, Joe Cool.
the ground, covering the important stories the corporate media covers up.
JT Siskowski for Status Coup. I've been on the ground in Chicago reporting on the ICE raids and the Department of Homeland Security's operations in that city as it occupies the Chicagoland area.
Brandon Johnson has said, and Chicago police have said, that the police will not be cooperating with ICE on any of their operations, and yet we see them down here helping hold the line, helping protect immigrations and customs enforcement as they process this scene here where, again, there was a shooting. At least one person was shot by federal authorities.
Most recently, we saw the Department of Homeland Security's agents shot a second person in Chicago over the weekend, and their story of events as to what happened leading up to and in the immediate aftermath of that shooting is already starting to unwind. Border Patrol agents shot Maggie Martinez on Kedzie Avenue in the Brighton Park neighborhood of Chicago on Saturday. She is...
Well, that's allegedly Brighton Park, but oh, no, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, sorry, yeah. Sorry, allegedly it was Broadview, but it actually did happen in Brighton Park. Okay, yeah, that's right. My bad.
Is the second person that the Department of Homeland Security has shot in Chicago since it started Operation Midway Blitz. Back on September 12th, an ICE agent shot and killed Silverio Gonzalez in the Franklin Park neighborhood of Chicago. This is Department of Homeland Security officers acting as judge, jury, and executioner in one case and attempted executioner in another. The Department of Homeland Security oversees both Customs and Border Patrol and Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. And in the immediate aftermath of shooting Martinez, the Department of Homeland Security came out with quite the story as to what happened. And surprise, surprise, a lot of those details are already turning out not to be true, or at least not as exaggerated as the Department of Homeland Security led us to believe, which is something.
Yeah, some of them seem to be just completely not true. Like, so they... Like, originally they're saying it happened in Broadview, but it happened in Brighton Park, as he just said. And there's apparently disputes about whether, like, who rammed who. And also this whole thing about her being an armed woman. Like, she did have a firearm, apparently, in her purse. But, like, again, according to police audio and witness accounts, it remained in her purse.
Just something that I emphasized repeatedly during Status Quo's on-the-ground reporting, giving you all the information that we had from DHS. I reiterated over and over and over again to take the DHS's words with a huge grain of salt, because they have a political agenda here. So this was the Department of Homeland Security's initial press release on the shooting of Martinez. Headline was, "Vehicles again used as weapon in attack against DHS law enforcement. Officers forced to fire weapon on armed woman in Chicago."
God, that's such an insanely, like, the spin, the narrativization in this is crazy.
This morning, Border Patrol agents were conducting a routine patrol near the intersection of 39th Place and South Kedzie Avenue when they were attacked and rammed by vehicles and boxed in by 10 cars. The officers exited their trapped vehicle when a suspect tried to run them over, forcing the officers to fire defensively. This is an evolving situation. FBI is on scene.
Like, all of that is, it is fucking crazy. Have you heard any outcry about MAGA from this, or is it just ICE because illegals are the devil? Well, I mean, they're gonna run with this narrative, right? Like, whatever actually happened here, which remains to be seen, like, they're just gonna take now that it's Trump's DHS, we just trust everything they say, right? So, I mean, obviously, a suspect tried to run them over, so the officers had to fire defensively. As it says right here. They're just going to take it at face value, right?
Scene. Quoting now from the Assistant Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, Tricia McLaughlin, she said that while conducting routine patrolling in the greater Broadview area near the same area of Chicago that law enforcement was...
I don't really know what MAGA and the left can come to agreement on when something as obvious as this happens. Trump ran with the original story and called them domestic terrorists. Yep. Not surprising at all. Let's see. While conducting near the same area of Chicago, the law enforcement was assaulted yesterday. Our brave law enforcement officers were rammed by vehicles and boxed in by 10 cars this morning. I mean, I guess he's reading it.
Was assaulted yesterday, meaning Friday. Our brave law enforcement officers were rammed by vehicles and boxed in by 10 cars this morning. Agents were unable to move their vehicle and exited the car. One of the drivers who rammed the law enforcement vehicle was armed with a semi-automatic weapon. Law enforcement was forced,
which apparently allegedly never left her purse,
to deploy their weapons and fired defensive shots at an armed U.S. citizen who drove herself to the hospital to get...
Wait, she drove her... Wait, what? What? That's a crazy detail. So they fired defensive shots, and then she drove herself to the hospital. Okay, that's wild.
To get care for wounds. Now, that is quite the story, and as it turns out, some of that already immediately not true. For instance, Martinez did not get shot multiple times and then miraculously able to drive herself to the
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that's crazy. Shaky story. Yeah. Well, let's see.
the hospital. She drove herself allegedly for about a mile after this incident to a nearby business where she was found by paramedics. That was according to the Chicago Fire Department in the immediate aftermath of the shooting. Already starting to chip away a little bit.
Yeah, so already that's wild. She drove off after the shooting. Okay, so it's true she drove off after the shooting, but then paramedics discovered her in her vehicle at a repair shop about a mile away. Okay.
At DHS's version of events. But do you notice, too, in that statement that the Department of Homeland Security referred over and over again, including in the headline of the press release, to the fact that Martinez was armed? There's been some reporting by local media that Martinez did have concealed carry, which might explain if Border Patrol were able to find a gun after the fact, why she had one. But when it actually came time for the federal government to show its evidence against her and charge her with crimes, there was not a weapon.
Wow. So he's control Fing gun in the report here, and it's only one. Did I see that right?
Show its evidence against her and charge her with crimes.
Wait, one more time, sorry.
The federal government to show its evidence against her and
one of one
charge her with crimes. There was not a
treated for gunshot wounds.
A weapons offense anywhere in the charging document. I'm looking right now at the 8-page criminal complaint that was filed against Martinez as well as Anthony Ian Santos Ruiz in federal court. And the charge listed there is for forcibly assaulted, resisted, opposed, impeded, intimidated, and interfered with a person designated in the United States Code as an officer and employee of the United States while they were engaged in their performance of their official duties, and in the commission of such acts used a deadly and dangerous weapon. You might think that that deadly and dangerous weapon would be a reference to the fact that Martinez was armed with a gun?
But it's the car.
Nope. It is a reference to her car, which the federal government is alleging she crashed into the Border Patrol agent's vehicle. You can scroll through this whole thing. It is publicly available. And there is not a single reference made to her having a gun. That's not to say that she didn't have one, but it could also imply that she had one legally. The federal government could come along and add charges later. But why wait? Especially when Trump administration officials had come out immediately in the aftermath of this shooting, while the investigation was still going on the ground, by the way, and started to score political points off of this shooting. So I just want to emphasize, on the one hand, you have the federal government saying, oh, she had a gun, agents were firing defensively, making a big to-do out of this. And on the other, you have the federal government in court not referencing that gun at all. Some of those political points that the Trump administration officials tried to score were like this. Stephen Miller, who is the deputy chief of staff for the Trump White House, said this is
domestic terrorism and seditious insurrection.
Terrorism and seditious insurrection. The Trump administration keeps coming back to that domestic terrorism. Then later that same day, he said the issue before us now is very simple and clear. There is a large and growing movement of left-wing terrorism in this country. It is well organized and funded, and it is shielded by far-left Democrat judges, prosecutors, and attorneys general. The only remedy is to use legitimate state power to dismantle terrorism and terror networks.
Jesus, what a scary thing. Issue for now is simple and clear. A large and growing movement of left-wing terrorism in this country, well organized and funded, allegedly, shielded by far-left Democrat judges, allegedly, prosecutors and attorneys general, allegedly. But I guess that's what they're including Letitia James, which we're going to dive into later. The only remedy is to use legitimate state power to dismantle terrorism and terror networks.
So just calling the opposition in this country to the incumbent administration terrorists by virtue of existing and resisting the occupation of American cities. So Stephen Miller there is trying to somehow connect the dots between Martinez, a person who just lives in Chicago, and so far as the reporting bears out, has no connection to the establishment, Democrats, or organized left-wing political spheres, and is trying to link her and this shooting directly to the opposition party in America, saying that it is all terrorist and needs to be met with legitimate state power. Well, what is legitimate state power?
Plenary authority, perhaps, Mr. Miller?
Could that go as far as sending in troops, prosecutions? It starts to get real scary real fast when you
It is starting to get really scary really fast.
follow that line of thinking very far. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said the day of the shooting, "Today in Chicago, members of our brave law enforcement were attacked, rammed, and boxed in by 10 vehicles, including an attacker with a semi-automatic weapon." See, they love to emphasize that gun.
Including an attacker, yeah, including an attacker with a semi-automatic weapon. Deploying more special operations to control the scene.
I'm deploying more special operations to control the scene. Reinforcements are on their way. If you see a law enforcement officer today, thank them. Kristi Noem had been in Chicago just the day before for a photo op at the Broadview, Illinois ICE detention facility, as well as several other places. Deputy Department of Homeland Security Secretary Tricia McLaughlin said that Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker's Chicago Police Department is leaving the shooting scene and refuses to assist us in securing the area. There is a growing crowd, and we are deploying special operations to control the scene.
Wait, I feel like we just saw at the very beginning of this footage of them standing by, assisting in securing the area, basically. What do they mean refusing to assist us in securing the area? I guess he's probably about to play that footage.
This is an evolving situation, and we will give more information as soon as it becomes available. I can tell you from my own personal experience that that is bullshit because I was there on the ground. Chicago police were there on the scene. They were dealing with crowd control. There were probably around 100 people gathered around a multi-block scene out there, and there were dozens of Chicago police officers who were holding back the crowd. And the only time that Chicago police ever left the scene in really any discernible sense was when ICE threw tear gas and tear gassed the police right alongside the crowd, making the
tear gas the police alongside the crowd.
Police officers have to take off running. In fact, the frustration from those in the crowd,
oh my God,
was that they thought the Chicago Police Department was actively helping ICE, something that their city government had said would not happen. And it's because the federal government isn't acting in good faith and giving out accurate information.
Super easy rebuttal. Wait, what's the... I met that guy reporting that day. He interviewed me. Oh, cool. Trib, is there like maybe a message missing here?
Information that I repeatedly warned in the live stream over the weekend of these events and in our recorded coverage to take everything the government says with a grain of salt. They have a political axe to grind here. They have a dog in this fight. They are looking to score political points. The pain and the suffering in Chicago right now seems to be the point. They want people photographing it, getting
No, the rebuttal thing was about him saying he was there at the scene. Oh, sure, yeah.
Video of them being cruel, deploying tear gas, creating these scenes by shooting people. That's evidenced by the fact that outside of the Broadview, Illinois ICE detention facility, we also saw Department of Homeland Security officers come out when they did not need to during a recent protest and forcibly arrest and throw to the ground peaceful demonstrators.
Let me play that again.
Slamming
him down. What do you do? Shot me too. My back was turned. Jesus. Sorry to hear that.
That was this past Friday. The Department of Homeland Security officers actually have camera crews that are following them around right now. I've seen them with cameras getting video of the Border Patrol agents. They've also got small drones that fly over getting video, and then they put together propaganda reels based on everything that ICE and the other DHS agencies are doing out there.
Hell no.
So it's ICE propaganda.
That's what those cameras are doing?
Earlier, I can't, like, it sounds like the
dubstep. It's playing dubstep music.
saying something like we're just here to fight or something.
Is this supposed to, what is this saying? Look at us be a gang, run around, chase people?
That's the word that comes to mind when you see this is like,
Yeah, like what, I mean, they're literally just, like, how can you justify any of this to be a good thing for the city?
They're putting together propaganda reels based off of all of the operations that the Department of Homeland Security is carrying out in Chicago, trying to feed this red meat in the form of videos that they are posting to Twitter to the Trump political base. Going, see, we're doing something about immigration. Isn't it great how cruel
Action for the sake of action.
we're being in one of America's largest cities, just going in, shooting people, arresting people in the middle of the night, profiling people, breaking up families, breaking up communities. And some of these scenes that the Department of Homeland Security is creating by shooting people seem like they are being used as a pretext to then ramp up the operations even more, as we've seen with Trump national.
Absolutely, and we're gonna get into that's gonna come back when we talk about the federal judge April Perry and her claims about deploying the National Guard to Chicago.
Nationalizing some units of the Illinois and Texas National Guards to deploy in the state of Illinois. But that's why it's so important that we are down there showing you what it's actually like so that you're not just seeing the Trump administration's propaganda. We're the only independent media outlet that has been down there for more than a week, showing you an unvarnished look at what it's like actually on the ground in Chicago. We've gotten interview after interview after interview with all of these people who live in that area who are telling us that ICE makes them feel less safe, that say they don't want the federal government coming in here in the name of safety, destroying their community.
We didn't have uniformed gangs disappearing people in broad daylight downtown with holding guns. We didn't have federal agents literally murdering people as they're resisting being kidnapped. So if anybody brought the war, they brought the war. Safe to say you feel less safe.
Veterans Against Trump based.
With ICE in your community. Oh, 100%. 100%. They're not protecting any of us out here. They're scared of us. That's why they have the guns. That's why they have the tactical vests, because they're scared of us.
So if you can support us, I'm going to be going back down to Chicago in the coming days. Our cameraman, John, is still down there. If you can continue to fund us to keep doing this work, please do so. Go to status.
True, and if you can't, or if you don't want to support them, which you should, you can also support me. You can support Radical Coder. Yeah, he seemed cool. Okay, well that's disturbing. Good morning, Nicody. So I have I made a list of like a bunch of questions, or I generated a list of about a bunch of questions to ask about the Letitia James situation. So maybe let's dig into that. Give me a quick briefing on the indictment of Letitia James. So Letitia James was federally indicted for bank fraud and false statements on October 9th. So that was yesterday. New York Attorney General Letitia James was indicted by a federal grand jury in the Eastern District of Virginia on charges of bank fraud and false statements to a financial institution. The DOJ says an indictment is an accusation. She's presumed innocent. Well, that's not how MAGA is going to be talking about this, I guarantee you. Reporting indicates the case stems from a mortgage-related matter alleging misstatements on loan paperwork. James has said any error was quickly corrected and she did not deceive the lender. I wonder what the misstatements is. I feel like this is going to be like it's going to be like the stupidest, God, they'll find like anything. I mean, if it's major, then there might be something interesting there, but I feel like there's not going to be. Politics and context. The indictment arrived shortly after President Donald Trump publicly called for charges against James, who previously won a civil fraud judgment against him. James and Democrats described the case as part of a broader weaponization of justice. DOJ officials assert no one is above the law. Well, except for them, currently, it seems. James posted a video calling the charges baseless and accusing Trump of targeting political opponents. So there will be federal arraignment and initial court appearances in Virginia, possible motions to dismiss and venue challenges, discovery, pretrial hearings, and if not resolved, trial. Sentencing, if convicted, would follow guidelines and likely be below statutory minimums.
Who's that? You okay, Bobby?
I think he's dreaming. She's going to be guilty. It'll be something small. Won't change the fact that it's politically motivated. Sure. I can see that. So the first question that I had was, what precisely do the two counts allege, and what are the key paragraphs for the indictment? Well, I guess we get those right here. So it is bank fraud from 18 U.S.C. 1344 and false statements to a financial institution, 18 U.S.C. 1014. What did James allegedly represent about occupancy or second home at closing, and what did she allegedly do afterwards? So here we go. Here we're going to get into more details than what we've got to so far. What did she allegedly represent about occupancy? She allegedly certified second home occupancy at closing, then treated the property as a rental. So prosecutors say James signed a second home rider and related loan documents for the Norfolk property, affirming she would occupy and use it as her secondary residence and not rent it or place it in any shared ownership arrangement. And then apparently she did that anyway, I guess. Alleged post-closing use and paperwork. The indictment alleges the home was not used as a second home, but instead rented to a family of 3, making it an investment property. Yeah, he's talking about Letitia. Every fucking politician does that. No one, yeah, I'm sure like everyone with multiple. I say everyone. I'm sure a lot of people with multiple properties have done things like this, and even if it's like, she might have even, for all we know, she fucking filled it out intending to use it as a second home, and then like later decided not to or whatever. Like I guess we'll see. We'll have to figure out the timeline on all this. I mean, well, no one's above the law, right? Her homeowner's insurance application is alleged to have stated owner-occupied non-seasonal use, which prosecutors say misrepresented the intended use. Jesus Christ, this sounds so stupid. Prosecutors say she filed Schedule E, treating the property as rental real estate, reported rental income with 0 personal use days, and claimed expense deductions, contradicting a second home classification. I don't know enough about like tax code regarding second home. I don't even own one home. The publicly available indictment focuses on occupancy representations, rental use, insurance, and tax treatment. It does not detail utility accounts or attach lease contracts beyond alleging rental use. I'm just curious. How often are people charged with these specific citations? I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Charges, whatever. And how often are misreports like this estimated to happen? Like the stream, by the way. Like the stream if you can. If you can click the little thumbs up, would super appreciate it. Trib says, I'm assuming Letitia wins the case. Okay, so criminal charges for these statutes are uncommon. Occupancy misreports are far more frequent. That was what my gut suggested as well. Criminal cases under federal bank fraud and false statement statutes are relatively rare compared to how often occupancy intent is misrepresented in mortgages. As context, overall white-collar prosecutions have fallen over the past decade, and while bank fraud remains a top fraud charge category, volumes are modest as the lead charge, or TRAC data showed 258 cases, with 1344 as the lead charge in the first 7 months of FY something year, fiscal year 2018, amid a long-term decline. Sentencing specifically labeled mortgage fraud numbered just 58 in federal year 2021 in the federal system, underscoring how infrequently individual mortgage application misstatements culminate in criminal sentencing. Thank you, Joe Cool. Also, I need to fix my overlay's racist. It if you do a yellow thumbs up, it'll show up, but apparently it doesn't show the different skin tone thumbs ups. Actually, let me test out if it'll show a white one. I'm just curious. Okay, so at least it doesn't discriminate. It's just it only shows yellow thumbs. At least we settled that. By contrast, misreporting occupancy or second home status is estimated to be common. Industry and research sources find meaningful rates of misrepresentation. So they say no one's above the law, but allegedly a lot of people are above this law. In fact, apparently this is very common. Okay, so that was actually not one of the questions I had written down here, but how did prosecutors compute the $19,000 benefit rate differential points fees and over what time horizon? Pray tell. Let's see. So I guess they're estimating that it was a $19,000 benefit that she earned by doing this. The next question is, which lender is at issue and does it qualify as a financial institution under federal law? Which I guess we're going to find out. Prosecutors say the $19,000 is the total rate-driven savings over the life of the loan. The charging papers say coverage of the indictment consistently describes the figure as the amount James allegedly saved by qualifying for a lower mortgage rate on a second home versus an investment property summed across the full amortization of the loan. The number appears as about $19,000 or approximately $18,933 and is explicitly framed as savings over the life of the loan. So over the life of the loan, that would mean, I guess, how long is the life of that? How long is that loan? The figure is tied primarily to the interest rate differential between second home pricing and investment property pricing on a Fannie Mae eligible loan at origination. It's not presented as a present value calculation. It's a straight lifetime savings estimate. On a okay. Nor do they show the precise assumed term, so we don't know the exact term. But it could be like 30 years. So for all we know, this could have led to saving $19,000 over 30 years. Which, I mean, it's not nothing, but like, come the fuck on, dude. Like, let's be so for real. That's wild. In plain terms, prosecutors are alleging the benefit comes from the cheaper pricing attached to a second home classification, mainly a lower note rate, and they aggregate that rate advantage across the entire scheduled life of the $109,600 loan to reach $19,000. There's no public itemized inclusion of points or fees in that total in the materials and reporting currently accessible. Okay. So which lender is at issue? And does it qualify as a financial institution, which is relevant to the both of the statutes that she's allegedly violating? Thinking deeply. Huh. Joe Cool says, Trump is mad because she went after him. I'm pretty sure she charged him with bank fraud. This is payback. Yep. That sounds right. Okay, they do qualify as financial institutions. So that answers that question. Why does this matter for these? Bank fraud requires the scheme to target a financial institution. False statements prohibit false statements made to influence the action of enumerated lenders. The definition of financial institution in Title 18 is incorporated across these offenses. Okay. Also good to see polygraph. What did Letitia go after Trump for? I think you're right, it was bank fraud. Persistent fraud, winning a sweeping civil judgment and business bans. So she brought a civil fraud case against Trump and the Trump organization and executives, alleging years of inflating asset values to secure better loans and insurance terms. Oh my God. So it literally is payback. A New York judge found persistent fraud, ordered roughly $450 million in penalties. Okay, let's just think about that. $450 million in penalties compared to the alleged $19,000 savings over God knows how many years, probably decades. Imposed a multi-year ban on Trump and key executives running New York businesses and appointed ongoing monitors over compliance. The case was civil, not criminal, unlike this one, but it hit the financial architecture of his companies. Valuations for properties like Trump Tower, 40 Wall Street, and various golf clubs were central. Trump has appealed, but the judgment currently stands and has already forced large bond postings and tighter oversight by lenders and insurers. I'm going to skip a few and jump down to evidence. So this one is, what documents exist? Is there a loan application, second home rider disclosures, broker and lender emails, underwriting notes, post-closing occupancy certifications, insurance binders, HOA forms, lease agreements, ads, listing, and property tax classifications, stuff like that. We're going to see what allegedly exists here. Also, the next one is about intent. So if there are like texts and emails with broker, family, and tenants, calendar, location records, moving, utility starts, change of address filings. Public filings name the loan application, second home rider, insurance application, and Schedule E. Others aren't shown. Okay. So very little. Bottom line, explicitly identified the URLA, second home rider, insurance application, Schedule E, plus loan terms described in the narrative. Emails, underwriting files, occupancy certifications, beyond the rider, insurance binders, HOA documents, leases, ads, and tax classification records are not shown. Any such materials would typically surface later during discovery. So that might be when we find out that there is, I guess that's where we're going to determine whether there's actually anything really shady, which I think is relevant to this next question, which is what shows intent at the time of application. So text emails with the broker, family, or tenants, or calendar or location records, moving utility starts, and change of address filings. Publicly, there's no granular intent evidence. Prosecutors lean on contemporaneous paperwork and timing. None of these artifacts are shown in the accessible materials. The case as presented relies on the signed occupancy representations versus subsequent rental and tax treatment. Any deeper intent evidence would surface later. Again, discovery. Okay, fair enough. Summarize all of this in like a 30-second breakdown so we can move on. So, in summary, she is accused of misclassifying a rental as a second home to get cheaper loan terms. The prosecutors say she certified second home occupancy on her mortgage, then immediately treated the Norfolk property as a rental. So they say she immediately did it. So that's going to be relevant to the timeline stuff. Including filing Schedule E with 0 personal use days. So 0 personal use days. So that if she ends up having any personal use days, then that would contradict that, right? And carrying insurance marked owner occupied despite rental use. The lenders were OVM Financial and later First Savings Bank, both qualifying as federal financial institutions. The alleged benefit is about $19,000 in lifetime interest savings from second home pricing versus investment property pricing. Public materials show the loan application, second home. Oh, we just read all that, so okay. We get it. We get it. So yeah, kind of seems like lawfare. Oh, hang on. I realize the on-screen chat is broken because I don't see the messages that I see in my chat. So I can tell you've never worked in a financial institution. Absolutely. FY or FYE does mean fiscal year and fiscal year end respectively. Okay, so I got that one right. Trump basically said he had more room than he did. It's not just payback, it's a continuation of his intimidation tactics. True. The housing market is a scam like healthcare, and they can and do all this stuff in other countries. It's just an American failure. Communists would probably send them both to jail since they're hoarding housing and space. Capitalists are like, give us little money and you can keep doing the fraud, apparently. True. 40 acres, a mule, and a house at this point. Nakoti says, was the property in her name or was the property in a business name of which she was whole or part owner? Well, let's find out. She might be guilty of trying to use capitalism to make money. Pretty sure most of us are. Speaking of which, support the stream. Give me your money. It was in her personal name. She was the sole borrower on the 2020 purchase. Okay. So, I mean, it seems like pretty obvious, like, lawfare. Like, just Trump going after his political enemies, as he's been known to do. Doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Seems like something that if it was even, if it even happened the way the indictment alleges, then it's probably something that's like actually, unfortunately pretty common. And again, I think only like 58, there were like only 58 charges or something like for under one of these statutes, like per year or like in 2021, which is just crazy. So it's not something that's like commonly, gone after. You're welcome, Nakoti. Let's move on. Because they get back $19,000, or they save $19,000 over the length of the loan, which could be over like decades, right? It takes them a lot of money to research it. Okay. A better example was Biden's IRS quote-unquote agents. I hear MAGA talk about this a lot, like all the armed agents or whatever. What was the actual story there? Okay. So let's see. Federal judge rules regarding Trump deploying National Guard to Chicago, citing no credible evidence. Give a brief overview. Some agents can be armed, not for desktops. Oh, sure. They would actually bring back serious money from fraud, and we're going after the rich. So for those investigations, they get a ton of money back. Okay. So a federal judge has temporarily blocked Trump's National Guard deployment to Chicago, citing no credible evidence of rebellion. I do have a brief video potentially providing evidence of this rebellion, actually. So let's see.
the radical left's reign of terror in Portland once and for all.
You look at Portland, and you see fires all over the place. You see fights and, I mean, just violence.
This network of Antifa is just as sophisticated as MS-13, as TDA, as ISIS, as Hezbollah, as Hamas, as all of them. They are just as dangerous. They have an agenda to destroy us, just like the other terrorists we've dealt with for many, many years.
When ICE officers have to street battle against Antifa, hand-to-hand combat every night to come and go from their building.
Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Crisscross.
You look at what's happened with Portland over the years, it's a burning hellhole.
President Trump.
Yes, exactly. Operation Inflation. Yes, which I'm a staunch supporter of now that I understand it. A staunch supporter of Operation Inflation. So there we go. There is clearly some evidence of rebellion, of inflated. The allegations are not completely inflated. Pun quite intended. The dark Brandon eyes on Grandma. Oh, you sneezing? Are you a sneezy puppy? You guys hear him sneezing. Not the dark Brandon eyes on Grandma. Also good to see you, Allie. So she claimed it wrong on her taxes, reported interests as though it were a primary residence. I don't think it was... Wait, let me... Did I already close that tab? Let me see. I know there's a way to find Letitia James. Yeah, so the allegation centers on misrepresenting mortgage occupancy, not tax filings. She identified her Virginia house as a primary or second residence to obtain more favorable mortgage terms, but then used it as a rental. Some coverage notes a 2023 document where she purportedly declared the Virginia home as her principal residence, but neighbors said they hadn't seen her living there. Yeah, so not doesn't really have to do with her. Oh, you guys can't actually see what I'm looking at, can you? Or can you? Sorry. Yeah, you guys are looking at a completely different thing. My bad. Here. Neighbor snitching. I thought we were friends. Well, you moved. We got new friends. Rip. Be like that, I guess. Okay. So again, federal judge April Perry temporarily blocked Trump's National Guard deployment to Chicago, citing no credible evidence of rebellion, despite the evidence that we just saw of the Tyrannosaurus Rex Reptar dancing aggressively towards ICE agents. U.S. District Judge April Perry issued a temporary restraining order halting the Trump administration's deployment of National Guard troops in Illinois. In an on-the-record ruling, she said the move would likely violate constitutional limits and would only add fuel to the fire. So not only would it violate constitutional limits, but it would also, allegedly, only add fuel to the fire, noting no credible evidence of a rebellion in Illinois to justify federalization under the Insurrection Act. Illinois leaders, including Governor J.B. Pritzker and Chicago's mayor, praised the decision. The administration has appealed and a written opinion is expected to elaborate on the legal basis, including concerns over vague mission parameters and reliance on unreliable evidence from the Department of Homeland Security. The order runs about 2 weeks, with a hearing set to decide extension. HCR. Who's HCR? Bot Redemption Arc. So she did it to receive better interest rate. If she used it as collateral, then she likely would have been provided better rates anyway. The more collateral, should it be over collateralization? Collateralizing. Maybe. I don't know. What is the definition of rebellion in this context? And what's the strongest evidence supporting there being such a thing in Chicago? Heather Cox Richardson tagged in your Gen chat. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I've heard that name before. Make sure you're following her. I think I might be. Heather Cox Richardson. I think I am. Let's see. I am not subscribed. I've definitely pulled up one of her videos before. Or I think I see her in my like recommended all the time. Or maybe I've clicked on some of the ones that Ali shared. Well, I'm subscribed now. Well, here's only 15 minutes. Let's check out her recent video. Why are they pretending major cities are war zones? This seems pretty relevant to what we're talking about right now. I think Zers does have drone footage he ran last night of a frog getting maced in his suit. I'd have to go see. It's a 24-hour news footage that he ran on his live, so the video is much cleaner. Interesting. She mentions the frog.
If they continue to get away with declaring major cities war zones, will it stop the voting process? Okay, so I'm going to back up a little bit here. I just threw out Stephen Miller's name. I also threw out Kristi Noem's name.
Check the clip in your Discord. Okay.
I mean, literally, they held a round table at the White House yesterday on Antifa. Kristi Noem is out there saying all this ridiculous crap about how, I don't know, they found the founder of Antifa's girlfriend. I mean.
Oh, yeah. I heard about this. What the hell?
We need to remind people that that's not true, that the administration is trying to sell them a lie. That is not true. And the way that you do that is you film your town, your city, and say, we're not violent here. That frog who was protesting at the ICE facility in Portland, that was incredibly important because it's really hard for ICE to look like they're fighting, some terrible, armed group when you've got a frog dancing, right? Videos.
It is super valuable to make it all look just like as silly as it is. That's a really, really. I'm increasingly sold on the Operation Inflation memes. Good morning, Ashton.
Matter. Videotape things. Videotape what is happening to the people who are being snatched off the streets. But now here's another really, really important thing.
The Antifa girlfriend is just the Antifa guy with a wig on. Wait, really? Oh, that's a Reddit meme. I have to go see the video. I woke up around 4 a.m. and caught someone was listening to it some this morning, but not watching. Was driving. All good. Antifa Transformers. Cringe.
Thing going forward. Videotape it and post it. I'm sorry, on social media. Make sure people are. I mean, literally.
Talks more about this before and after that clip. Okay. Well, we're gonna watch her video about why they are pretending. I assume this is probably clipped up from that same video, right? I mean. ICE came over Perzi and Zeus and pepper sprayed right down his costume, so we had to deal with that all night. That fucking sucks, dude. Yo. That's crazy. What a bunch of assholes.
Name. And I think there's something that so far I haven't seen in the questions that is important. And maybe it's because you're seeing it everywhere else and you don't need me to talk about it. But there's two really important things that go hand in hand, maybe three, that are all operating right now. First of all, Donald Trump is not apparently, I'm sorry, I just hit delete again. Donald Trump is apparently not in control of the administration. He's pretty openly not able to answer anything that's going on. He throws questions to other people. If you hear him in interviews, he just sounds bonkers. He's not calling the shots. Two people at least are the ones running things. One is, or appear to be, one is Russell Vought at the Office of Management and Budget, and I'm not going to talk more about him today, I don't think. But the other is Stephen Miller, who is the White House Deputy Chief of Staff. White House advisor Miller is, according to The Guardian, the one who has ordered the strikes on the Venezuelan boats. A report out today says that he thinks this is a way to convince people that immigrants are terribly dangerous at a time when, as I mentioned before, the Trump administration is deeply underwater on its attacks on immigrants, especially undocumented immigrants, because during the campaign, Trump said that he was only going to go after, the criminals, the rapists, the murderers. But what people didn't understand...
How's that going? I think Channel 2 in Portland is broadcasting 24/7 across the street from the ICE detainment building. Is he a dictator or is he not running things? It's a little bit of both. Oh, the clip is from yesterday's live. I see what you're saying. Oh, look, that's me. Hey, look, that's me. So, by the way, I woke up at like 4 a.m. and I saw this video. I saw this stream was live, or this video was set up for the proposition was not what it says right here. And I think this seems to have been something like perhaps an honest mistake from Sarah. But the prompt that was written... Hang on one second. The screenshot that I took says... Okay, here it is. The prompt that she had up was, stay-at-home husbands are more superior for society than stay-at-home wives. Which I thought was a weird thing. But the actual prompt that Marte suggested, he tweeted at me. And said, if you're so confident, I'll destroy you in another debate on stay-at-home husbands not being a prescription for society. So when I saw the prompt that the video said, stay-at-home husbands are more superior for society than stay-at-home wives, I was like, that's not what I agreed to. I agree this administration sucks, but make up your mind. I see what you're saying. I think that Trump wants to feel like he's in charge, but what's really happening is just the consolidation of power in general to the executive branch, which includes people around Trump. And that's that's the whole Project 2025 thing, is to consolidate power specifically so that whoever comes after Trump, they can continue on the project. Well, she said in DMs, I think she sent me something he said, which was a little bit different. That he messaged her, but I think there was like a typo or again, I don't think any of this was this whole misunderstanding. I don't think there was anything malicious going on. Perhaps from Marte, but even that less so than I thought initially. I think it was a real misunderstanding. But I'm just pointing out, I was like, whoa, that's crazy. That's a completely different thing. But what Marte did say was, stay-at-home husbands not being a prescription for society. Yeah, exactly. Unified executive. Yeah. If you're going to be here for a while, I can see if I can find the Assault on the Frog. Yeah. I'll go for probably at least another 30 minutes to an hour. What's everyone wrong about today? Well, you let me know. We covered a shooting by ICE agents in Chicago, which the facts on the ground are intensely disputed. We covered the indictment of Letitia James, which seems like pretty obvious, political lawfare. What's Coder wrong about today? Well, we'll see, I guess. Remains to be seen. and we are currently learning about the federal judge who temporarily blocked Trump's National Guard deployment to Chicago, citing there being no credible evidence of rebellion. And so what I was following up with is, what is the definition of rebellion in this context, and what's the strongest evidence supporting there being such a thing in Chicago? We also talked briefly about the inflatable frogs and such who are being brutally attacked by ICE officers who are spraying pepper spray down their little tiny frog throats. Did you cover Chris Hayes' video on the preacher? I don't think I watched that. What did I watch? I watched something about... Wait, no, I haven't actually covered the preacher stuff in detail. We talked about it. Yeah, Operation Inflation. Yeah, with the frogs. Are we talking about Trump's spiritual advisor or whatever? But anyway, rebellion here means an uprising obstructing federal law. Evidence in Chicago centers on confrontations at the Broadview ICE facility that courts deemed insufficient. Under the Insurrection Act, terms like rebellion and insurrection are not defined in the statute. In practice, rebellion is understood as organized, violent resistance that makes enforcing federal law impracticable by ordinary judicial means. Oh, it was a preacher who got pepperballed. Oh, no, I definitely haven't watched that. If you have it on hand, I'd be interested to see it. Whenever cities like Chicago put liberal socialist judges in place, these violations of the Constitution happen all the time. Sure they do, right? I'm sure. Do you have an example? Or are you just like gonna assert that broadly? You're saying April Perry here is a liberal socialist judge, whatever that means. You realize like socialists aren't liberals, liberals aren't socialists. They're like kind of deeply contrasting each other ideologically. Like that's kind of a hilarious thing. Liberal socialist judges. Brown shirts walking the streets. What's Radical Coder wrong about today? Herder. So true. So true. Yeah, exactly. Liberalism and socialism, they're like literally at odds. I mean, maybe like you could argue like democratic socialists are kind of like liberal socialists. Well, you see their shirts aren't actually brown. True, total stranger, and good to see you. Yeah. Progressives are basically the closest thing. I'll check that out in a second, Ali. I'll pull it up. You could show the beginning of it now because the beginning is kind of funny when the animal's dancing around and then the reporter comes out of nowhere, one frog holding a sign, "Frogs together strong." Love that. Liberals and socialists are all anti-American traitors. Traitors. Spelled... Man, Ride. You're like real deep down the rabbit hole, huh? But not the spelling one. Traitors? Real? Are you doing like voice to text? Please tell me you're doing voice to text. Democratic socialists are using capitalism to create socialism. Sure. Sock Dems are Democrats using capitalism to do socialism. Interesting. I don't really understand this distinction. I feel like I'm getting a vibe for what distinction you're making, but I don't quite understand. Okay, traitors. Well, at least you got closer that time. So a little bit closer. It's a tiny nitpick, but I tell the difference based on the second word. It indicates the direction. Sure. It's hard to simplify complex. Yeah, for sure. Liberals are the capitalists. Yes, indeed. Okay. Oh, also, I'm currently in the works setting up a debate between potentially me and Dusty versus Rob, Noor, and TrippyCast. We are locking in the exact topics right now, but it will likely center around Donald Trump's use of the National Guard, whether it's good for the United States, or whether Trump should invoke the Insurrection Act. I am trying to replace Dusty. All love to Dusty. I'm trying to replace Dusty with Pisco. I think that would be preferable. So that's my goal. The person who's organizing this has said the debaters are locked in, but then also said Dusty hasn't responded. So I kind of hope Dusty doesn't respond, and then I can just get Pisco in, because I feel like Pisco would be fantastic for that. Dusty's on our side. Well, he hasn't actually responded. And Dusty's more on our side. I mean, Dusty's anti-Rob North, so we can at least use that. I think Dusty would not want the Insurrection Act. It's allowed. If I want to be against capitalism, can I still use capital letters? No. Yeah, I think he meant traders. Progressives and sock dems are saying capitalism okay, but we have to do some socialism or people going to hurt. Yes, exactly. The big dangerous laws will come for everyone. Yes. And Dusty is a very, anti-government overreach guy. So I think that he does not trust the government, and he would not want big scary laws like that, like the Insurrection Act being enacted. I think he would be against that. Possibly for slightly different reasons than I would be, maybe. Anytime you have socialist systems like the Department of Education teaching people, you should expect spelling errors. Socialism fails every time. Okay. You realize the Department of Education doesn't teach anybody? Clearly it failed you. You stinky dog. You seem like you were raised by your mom. I was raised by both of my parents, actually, Austin Murphy, but thank you. I think. Department of Education isn't even socialism because it was run under capitalism. True. Dusty will be on the side of whoever is most correct. Sure. Yeah. I mean, with his own biases regarding what that means. But yeah, also good to see you. What say, Lou? What if we want the best of both worlds? What if? It was also a government-run, top-down agency. Good job, Austin. Real good point. Very compelling. Very compelling. Can I watch like full MSNBC clips on YouTube? I feel like they're like. I feel like I've gotten flagged before for watching an MSNBC clip. True. Socialism, what they called price supports. Yes, I can, or yes, I'm going to get flagged. Socialism, what they call public power. Socialism is their name for anything that helps all the people. President Truman. Well, Tom does. Tom watches it? Okay. If Tom does it, I feel safe. Yes. Motherfucker. All right. Let's see.
Tonight in Chicago, where National Guard troops are mobilizing on the outskirts of that city. The governor of the state of Illinois does not want them there, nor does the mayor of Chicago. The president of the United States today called for those two men to be jailed. Quote, Chicago mayor should be in jail for failing to protect ICE officers. Governor Pritzker also.
Jesus, should be in jail. In jail, says the president of the United States. Says the governor should be in jail. Governor and the mayor should be in jail. I don't know how they're going to deal with this whole flagging system on YouTube, because yes, I know the law is like used a limited amount, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what you're saying, actually. I'm sorry. Why do you say I feel like when it's not a feeling, it's a thinking? Your language is very effeminate. I think it's epistemic humility. I come from a computer science background. Like I have a degree in computer science, and mathematics was my minor. So I learned, like, I guess very, like how to speak very logically about things. And I feel that thinking is a kind of feeling process in a lot of ways. I mean, we could argue that like a good thinking process is more deductive, but like that deduction is done through feeling. I don't know. I guess your language is very effeminate. I I don't know. I mean, I guess I am in touch with my feminine side to some degree. I just don't. I don't know. I don't view things through the lens that you're viewing them, so it's kind of hard for me to like sit in your worldview and explore what you're trying to say here. But thank you for sharing, Austin Murphy. Please like the stream. But it seems like people sometimes get away with full clip and sometimes not. And from a content creation standpoint, it's a headache. Oh, sure. Yeah. I'm watching my parents till Wednesday. Pixie and me running these hallways. That's your cat, right? The fall colors are so pretty. Vibes. It's all vibes. It's vibes all the way down. Turtles all the way. Vibing turtles all the way down. We love vibes. We love turtles. Austin says, women are emotional, men are logical. Sure they are, Austin. They sure are, buddy. Yeah, you're so logical, aren't you? Aren't you so logical, little Austin? This is a funny thing people say.
And on a day when Trump's former FBI director was being arraigned in a Virginia courthouse, talk like this should probably be taken quite seriously.
These leaders in these local cities, along with Pritzker and Johnson, ignore what's going on, or, sir, they're helping Antifa cover it up.
I think actually they're petrified. You know, their families live there, everything else. I actually think they're scared. Pritzker was a failure in his family. They threw him out of the family business. Guy's a loser.
I hear that statement, Austin, and I think that is a feeling. Exactly. It's so funny. But it's like he thinks it's such a rational claim he's making. Like, to his core, he believes he's logically deduced this. You know? Like, I don't even know how to engage with that. Like, just a quick question, Austin. Who's more likely to engage in violent crime? Just curious. We are taught to say "I feel" when arguing, says What Say Lou. Are we? I feel like I do it a lot. I don't know if I was taught to. I don't know if it's something I developed over time. I feel like it's something I developed over time. I know I'm doing it right now. I guess I don't think it was something I always did. But I think I do use them kind of interchangeably. I guess when I say feel, I'm being a little bit more vibey. Like I'm leaning more into like something I'm uncertain about. When I say think, I don't know. I guess both I'm being uncertain. I think when I say think, or I feel when I say think, I don't know. Like I'm maybe referring to like something slightly more deductive, like Austin was kind of inspiring me to think about. Just a heads up, a stay-at-home wife will be with your kid over twice as much as you to be real, Austin Murphy. I use I think, and people suggest not using that and just make the statement. Yeah, people criticize me a lot for doing that. But I don't know. I feel like it's fine. We need to get to the midterms. Yeah, we sure do. Saying I feel seems to be just a similar prefix that might not be necessary to the communication of the idea. Yeah, I feel like there might be something to that. I think you might be right. Gotcha. And often appears to, for debatable reasons, take away from credibility of the speaker. Sure. It's a personal preference. Yeah, but I think Polygraph's right about it being like people hear it and they feel a certain way about it. Kind of like Austin did.
But you know what? I believe they're scared. They're actually frightened for their lives.
For his part, Governor Pritzker does not appear to be petrified.
This is a convicted felon. I mean, think about that. who's threatening to jail me.
True.
I got to say.
True. Instead of saying you are an idiot, you should say I feel like you're an idiot. Makes it less fact. I like that. I feel like you're a total fucking moron. Trib says, I would say people use feel off of intuition, more vibes based, and maybe I think is more so a tepid endorsement of you're more aware of what the answer could be. Yeah, that's a good discernment. That feels right. Another fun angle is people are getting dumber, so they literally need more simple words to be used to describe things to them, and flourishes with language can interfere with the directness of the messaging. Are people getting dumber? Maybe. Often says more about them than you. Yeah, but it's not just about what it says. It's like about the practicality of it all. Nakoti says there was an incident where ICE took off down the street after someone, but didn't see them get anyone. I'll see if Z can't make some shorts or short videos off it. Okay. Okay. Back to Chicago mayor or a governor. Is this governor?
I say this guy's unhinged. He's insecure. He's a wannabe dictator. And there's one thing I really want to say to Donald Trump. If you come for my people, you come through me. So come and get me.
That kind of posture from the governor is pretty important at a time like this, because this is all happening just a week after the President of the United States assembled the 800 highest-ranking commanders of the U.S. Armed Forces and told them to be prepared to fight the enemy within.
True.
Some of these dangerous cities.
This is this guy. That's this guy. This felon here. Cal Fisher says, saying I makes a statement when you think feel. It's to indicate that other impressions are allowed. It's a way of being not humble, but acknowledging that a statement is opinion. Sure. I think that makes sense. Ryan, can you read a clock? I found many 20-somethings cannot. Well, I'm in my 30s, so I can't speak to that. But I can read a clock, yes. Something Zeus mentioned is he sees lights painting the crowd, which he feels are tech being used to do 3D rendering of the crowd. That sounds wild, but I mean, who knows? I feel opinion statement often comes next. Yeah, sure. Like, based on fact, I feel X, Y, and Z. Like, based on facts, I feel opinion. L Gen Z, L Gen Alpha. Yeah, embarrassing. If they're doing 3D rendering of the crowd, are they going to try to use AI to make the crowd seem other than what it was? Probably. Folks who are good communicators use I statements. Bullies don't. It's a means of closing a communication topic. Okay, yeah, I can vibe with that. Also, good to see you, Cal Fisher. Good to have you here. Thank you for your input. I appreciate that. Good morning, Gen X. Great to see you. Make sure you all like the stream, by the way. There's like half the likes that there are viewers. I feel like you guys are liking the stream. Like, let's be real. Even the haters, I feel like you're liking the stream. Give it a little like. Tap the like button. You know you want to. You know you support this. It back. We back. Good to see you, Michelle. Oh, you said it back. Thank you. You said it. See, Michelle follows orders. I don't pay enough attention, but should hear it more during debates. I like before I open chat for every stream ever. If it sucks, I unlike it. Fair enough. How many of mine have you unliked? I'm curious. The thing is, if Zerz is ever wrong on anything, he's always honest enough to walk it back, such as on the 3D rendering theory. Sure. Okay. Back to Trumpy.
Cities as training grounds for our military, National Guard, but military. Because we're going into Chicago very soon. That's a big city. It's the enemy from within, and we have to handle it before it gets out of control.
What we've been seeing in Chicago.
I usually unlike Peace goes when Aaron joins. You're anti-straighter ed. I love Aaron. Aaron's my homegirl. What's your hatred of Aaron? Blah. The enemy from within is crazy. It really is. It is very fascistic rhetoric, one might say. One might say.
Chicago already from ICE and other federal agents sure does look like an extension of that project. It feels like an attempted federal occupation, with images like this shared by a reporter with the Chicago Tribune of a federal agent pointing a weapon out of a car window at a woman who was filming them. Last Friday, we saw folks in a residential neighborhood.
Bro, that's an insane
at
image.
A woman who was.
Also, why can't I click to pause? Is it MSNBC or is it my YouTube acting crazy? It feels. yeah. I'm going to hear it everywhere now. Trump is pro-fa. True chains.
Filming them. Last Friday, we saw folks in a residential.
She's drawing Pisco to the dark side, and she leaked Pixie's sewer slide messages to President Sunday. I also blame Pisco for his hypocrisy there. There might be some criticisms about all the stuff about the President Sunday stuff. Although I feel like I think I remember Pixie speaking to that, and that like she doesn't think that like Aaron was being malicious there, but maybe I'm wrong. I might be misremembering. Which people can agree or disagree. Smelled like fascism guy also. But pulling Pisco to the dark side, what does that mean? Pulling him to the dark side. What, making him more leftist and less liberal? Because that's based, actually. Pulling him to the light side. The Jedi are leftists. The Jedi are progressives. Pisco is fighting with his inner money-making lawyer logic. If anyone wants to see the Portland protest and not trying to spam chat here, you can see what Zerzouz has shot personally and what he ran last night at his channel, Zerzouz. Yeah, highly recommend. In fact, I will drop his link. Zerzouz. Also, what was that headline? Oh, the Status Quo News. Oh, he's streaming right now, too. Oh, he was. Wait, I'm not subscribed to Zerzouz? Come on. Come on. I am now. Pixie isn't mad at her or Kiri Farms or President Sunday or anyone but Destiny. Yeah, sure. Maybe. You have to pick a lane if your heart calls. Lawyers are not good people, except for Pisco. Pisco's good. Pisco's one of the good ones, Michelle. Don't slander. Pisco's my boy. Last night footage was channel 2 out of Portland, though, but don't go now or late. Yeah, go later. Yeah, don't leave my stream to go there, obviously. Just open it up in a new tab. Illiberal, one might say. I don't know about having progressive values. I actually would love a progressive utopia. The problem is driving voters from the Democratic Party into the arms of MAGA. I don't feel like progressives actually do that. I mean, that's maybe a much broader conversation to be had. I think the way MAGA characterizes leftists and progressives is one thing, and I feel like they like pull up the worst of the worst and make that the face. But I don't know if that is representative of like leftists or progressives. Yeah, we watched one of their videos earlier. It was really good. RIDK or IDC. Don't hate the lawyers. It's the legal system. To quote Lisa Simpson, the whole damn system is wrong. True. Lisa had a lot of wise words to say. It's like saying a hitman is neutral. I think the Gaza situation did it. I think that's a huge factor.
Neighborhood, middle of the day, bright sunshine, get tear gassed. The chemical agent was used just a block away from an elementary school during a school day. Across social media, there is video after video after video of people being detained, often violently by federal agents, while onlookers yell at them. Like this video on your screen of Border Patrol trying to forcibly restrain a man while onlookers attempt to intervene.
Yo, I watched this. This video is crazy, and they actually let him go. It looks like fucking GTA. They actually let this guy go. Like, thanks to all these people who are like screaming at them and being like, hey, like fucking let him go, fuck off. They actually leave him eventually, which is pretty cool. But Rob Noir would see this and call it an insurrection. Gen X says, it took me finishing law school and passing the bar to find out lawyering is awful, so I work for the legislature, which is similarly awful, but at least I can make tiny changes. Well, that's cool. Good to have you in the system, Jen. We appreciate you. So much debt. Oh, I'm sure. I'm so thankful that I'm not in like student loan debt for my degree. I was so lucky to have family who could like help me through it, and scholarships. And I might, for simplicity, consider SOCDEM and progressives as largely the same to simplify things. Yeah, I think that's fair. That video was insanely weird. Showed how inept the agents are as well. They really are just thugs. Straight up fucking thugs, dude. Fucking thugs. With the hard G. These guys are thugs. They're literally just any rando they recruited, like in the South Park gag. Yep.
In one instance, a Democratic congressional candidate was violently thrown to the ground
Cat,
by ISIS.
my girl Cat. How dare you. Find me that guy. That guy who threw my girl Cat to the ground. I'm coming for you. Through legal means. That's crazy.
Thrown to the ground by ICE. You see that there? For exercising her...
Future miscoder Kat Abu Ghazala thrown to the ground. I had to watch that video like 3 times because I was like, who did they take into the vehicle? Nobody, I believe, at the end. Yeah, nobody. Hassan is probably communist or maybe an ANCOM. I don't know for sure. Something like that. Erin claims to be communist, and maybe she is, but I don't know all the nuance to purity test. Yeah, I don't know exactly what she means by communist. Maybe an interesting thing to hear about.
Her constitutional right to protest the agency's presence in her city. Just last month, a pastor was shot in the head with what appears to be a kind of pepper ball projectile while speaking outside an ICE detention facility in the Chicago suburb of Broadview. I want to warn you, some viewers may find the video of that incident upsetting.
Aaron seems like a sociopath. I don't think so. Just based on my own personal experience. You know what I'll actually point out? Aaron, very specifically, a couple years ago in early 2023, when I debated Destiny about math and critical race theory or whatever, and you know that debate has since long become infamous. Aaron was like the only person who actually reached out to me, and she sent me like a fucking wall of text. Like, she wrote so much about it, about like just responding. Who was like, she was the only person who made me feel like not insane after that conversation. Like, there was so much fucking gaslighting from Steven in that conversation, and from all of DGG after that conversation, and Destiny fans and people around Destiny after that conversation. But Aaron was the one fucking person who like talked to me and like gave her thoughts in a way that was like made me feel sane, made me feel like seen and sane, and made me feel like not fucking crazy. So I actually really, really appreciate Aaron for that, because when you have a massive creator who you're talking to on stream for the first time, like gaslighting you in front of fucking thousands, tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people. That video has like 500,000 views now. It has over 500,000 views. And like Aaron was like one of the people who like made me feel not fucking crazy. I really appreciated that. So I don't see her as a sociopath, but that I may be biased just because of that one particular experience. It was a crazy conversation. Bye, Cal. Yes, true that. Brush your teeth, walk your dog, have great days. So true, so true. I'm actually going to do both of those things after this stream, which will be over relatively soon. It didn't seem like you were ready to have a race realism convo radical coder. Yeah, I wasn't trying to. I mean, I could have a race. I'm like it was the way he was like funneling me into that. That was the frustrating thing, where it was like painting me as like a race realist for that, like what I was presenting, which was like so not what I was. And like when what's his face, that fuck ass Reddit mod guy, whose name I don't remember because he's such a useless person. I'm being a little harsh. I'm triggered because this is a very volatile memory of mine. Whatever that Reddit mod that everyone hates from Destiny's community, he came on and he's like, what is it about, like, what's some way you want black kids to be taught differently than white kids or whatever? And I'm like, wait, that's not, I don't know. I don't feel like that's what I'm saying. I was so confused by the question. His hands absolutely just gobbled it up. People are done with capitalism. They had no faith in seeing Trump doing what he's doing proves it. Sure. That's the mindset on the left. Yeah. Capitalism benefits some from taking from others. True. Stop telling us it works when it doesn't. Would you do that topic again, not with Destiny, but on your channel or Sarah's or whatever? Yeah, absolutely. I stand by it. I stand by the entire fucking conversation. I'm sorry, not by the conversation. I stand by the root of that conversation, which was that, like specifically that there was this book that was about it was for teachers. It wasn't like a school curriculum or whatever. It was just for teachers, and it talked about it used phrases like deconstructing whiteness and stuff, and which people are so fucking triggered by the word whiteness. But like it was talking about like ways that like underserved students in particular are like struggling in math, and it was like things that could be introduced in these classrooms that might support them more. But like the real issue that I didn't get to in that conversation is that like a lot of the strategies that are being outlined there are actually strategies that are already used in like schools, in like more well-funded schools. Well, Destiny was talking about race realism, but I wasn't talking about race realism. And the book that we were talking about was not about race realism. I think the impacts of race are real. Like I mentioned in that conversation that like the phrase race realism comes from like critical race theorists who described it as the reality of the impacts of racism. Like the permanence of racism in a way. Which is a very different thing than what obviously like a Fuentes or a Stefan Molyneux talks about, or just your average racist person. Demands universal health care, military out of U.S. cities, Epstein files released and trial started, impeach Trump, impeach fascists, 4-day work week. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I like Zerzoos. This is the IMO moderate offer at this point. Yeah. Well, I don't know if we're going to get anything close to universal healthcare based from this, out of this shutdown. But I mean, yeah, that would be ideal. Jen says, I still don't know what race realism is, but I've seen it used to describe people who are outright racist, so I assume it's churched up racism. It's just like people who believe that race is like this, like a really meaningful biological category. Which, in a sense, is just the actual like definition of racism or like racialization. But it's like it's a more ideologically driven view of race, I think. Some people use race realism to say some races are better than others. Yeah, definitely. Like fundamentally better in some like supernatural way, it seems often. I think there are fundamental differences between races. I do think there are ways to improve education in a more specific way. How ethical will it be? Probably not very, but I'm not mad at it. This is what the Trib says. I don't know if that you say fundamental differences between races. Like there are like phenotypical things. Like there are phenotypical things that are used as proxies for establishing categories of race. So there are like people are different. Like nobody's denying that, right? But like the actual categories of race don't line up with any like meaningful biological categories. That's the issue. Some people use it to mean, hey, we can't ignore that. We don't all look the same. Let's be real. Yeah, I don't think there's fundamental difference. I don't agree with that, Trib, that there's fundamental differences between races. Well, in that, again, in that I don't believe that there are these lines. Yeah, most behavior is learned, not genetic, sure. Yeah, also race as like a biological category, as people use it, includes like personality traits and stuff that I don't think are supported by any like scientific evidence. I mean, that might be like a vibes-based position you hold, Trib, but I don't know like what evidence would drive you there, like other than just like, again, just vibes. I think the differences are external. I agree. Yeah, fundamental means the easiest like debunking of like race realism, I think, is the recognition that there are there's more genetic diversity between or like within racial groups than there is between racial groups. Sports. I think there's like other reasons that like black people, for example, are like overrepresented in the NBA and stuff. I don't think it's just because like black people are like physically better at basketball or football. I don't think that's it. Oh, nor.
The Department of Homeland Security says those, quote, agitators were blocking an ICE vehicle and throwing bombs.
Jen says, like, black people are inherently worse or criminal or dumb, maybe, like Trump and MAGA. Yes, exactly. That's the idea. Sorry to inform you, Ryan, white men can't jump. Maybe not. I have not seen that movie, you're right. I don't think it's the guy on the roof. It's even the guys on the roof that shot the pasture because they're not moving. Yeah, I need to go back and watch it. I was like reading chat. You guys distracted me with all this fucking racism talk. Like, there's a... You actually see him firing. Like, you see a little smoke appear there. So, like, this guy actually... It looks like one of these guys fired. Let's watch it one more time. So there's like a puff of smoke. Yeah. Right when he gets shot. Yeah, right then. That's crazy, dude. What a fucking disgusting, pointless thing to do. What a pathetic loser. Dude, I really hope, really fucking hope that we see some justice for these fucking disgusting freaks. That's so crazy, dude. Trib says, when I say race is real, I'm not dog whistling. I'm saying there are fundamental differences, mostly nuanced, rarely drastic on the whole. Just saying there could be more impactful ways to aid people. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know if there's any like grounding for that. I think we could, like, most of the issues that we see like among like racial categories are like pretty clearly like driven, or like appear to be driven very much by like specific racialization, like by racism, by like refusal of access to specific institutions and allowal of access to those on the other end. Larry Bird was a hell of a good basketball player. Completely unacceptable.
The Department of Homeland Security says those, quote, agitators were blocking an ICE vehicle and throwing bottles. In his own words,
not what I saw.
That man, Reverend David Black, said, quote, I told them there was still time to repent, believe the good news, and turn from their wicked ways. That's when they opened fire.
It's fucking crazy, dude. Crazy.
And again, this is all just the
This is America, by the way. This is happening right here in America.
Beginning. Today, NBC News is reporting the White House is now holding serious discussions about invoking the Insurrection Act of 1807, a law that the White House believes would allow Trump to marshal federal troops to act as law enforcement agents in our cities without nearly as many legal constraints over how those troops could operate. It would be, I think, akin to a kind of declaration of war against the people of this country with no actual legitimate justification. There is no insurrection. One person close to the White House telling NBC the debate over the Insurrection Act is working its way up an escalatory ladder. What we are seeing in Chicago sure looks...
Oh, chat's broken. I'm sorry. I'm going to fix it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Please forgive me. And give me your money, by the way. Oh, good to see you, Jelly. I can't go one day around here, around these parts without this subject being brought up. True. The Orange Man is lobbying for the Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Okay, chat is fixed. Chat is fixed.
Sure looks like the opening move in a larger vision for this country, where the leader consolidates power to harness state, local, and federal police in cooperation with the U.S. military, which is trained to defend America from foreign threats, and instead unleashes them against Americans.
Nobel Peace Prize for shooting Americans in the head. Woohoo!
I see the guns and that's in this room. You are unleashed. The handcuffs that you're carrying, they're not on you anymore. They're on the criminals. And whatever you need
Dude, what a fucking freak, dude.
to get it done, we're going to get it done. State, local, federal, on President Trump's promise, we are going to get it done.
The pretext in all of this has been fighting criminals. But Stephen Miller and Donald Trump want to treat Americans who do not support their agenda like enemies, like people the U.S. is engaged in war against. And I've got to say, the response we're seeing against that vision in cities like Chicago is really actually inspiring, emboldening. I mean, despite being far less willing to...
Little bro heard a FedEx door close, and he's losing his mind. His fascism.
willing to weigh into American politics and his predecessor. The new Pope, Pope Leo, who is from Chicago, is calling out...
By the way, I haven't shilled very much on this stream, but there is a very cute emote you can see right now that Nicody just posted of BB Umbreon. This emote, by the way, is actually based on Umbreon when he was just a little baby. That's why it's called BB Umbreon. And it, like, this was the picture that I was sent of him before I even picked him up. And it's a very cute emote, and you can use it. That's the point I was getting to. You can use that emote if you get a Radical Coder channel membership. Can you believe it? You yourself could use the best emotes on YouTube. The cutest baby Umbreon emotes that no one else has that I know of. I don't know why they would. That would be very strange. Joey says, like, seriously, it needs some explanation. I don't know if it's a dopamine hit or what, but just let people live in peace. True.
Out Trump's overreach. In remarks to bishops visiting him at the Vatican today, the Holy Father urged them to use the pulpit to speak out against Trump's draconian immigration policies. This administration has decisively lost the moral high ground on this issue. People at a deep level understand that what they are seeing in Chicago is wrong. They know that they are free citizens of a free country. A free country that we spent hundreds of years trying to achieve and perfect. They know they have a right to film ICE and even to peacefully, verbally challenge ICE. They have a right to protest, to stand outside detention centers, to try and shame people that are committing what they believe to be grave injustices. And the fact that they are continuing to do that, even in the face of this onslaught, is a testament to the fact that Americans will not be intimidated. Just like a certain Chicago delivery cyclist outmaneuvered ICE last week.
Damn. Why'd they go after him? Like, what's even happening here? What's he doing?
Delivery cyclist outmaneuvered ICE last week.
Like, he's just riding up? Is he delivering something? Like, did they order... I have a right to eat delicious tacos if I want them? True. True. Support the stream so I can eat delicious tacos. I love Taco Bell. I'm a big Taco Bell fan. Yo quiero Taco Bell. I always want Taco Bell. So I like, what did they like order Uber Eats and this guy's delivering it and they like saw his name and they're like, oh, that's Jose. We're gonna get Jose. Like, what's happening here? I for sure bought tacos. Oh, is he like selling tacos? Yeah, it seems like he's a DoorDasher. Like, that's what it looks like. Like, what the fuck? And they're like fucking going to attack him. he's like, I want my tacos now. I'm like, I'm gonna get Taco Bell right now. Yo, spread the love, share the love, support the stream, help me support my own personal Taco Bell addiction. Look at him go.
Jacob Soboroff is MSNBC's national political and senior national.
They're rushing people on site. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Good luck, Trib.
Political and national correspondent. He joins me live from Chicago, not far from where that footage was taken. Jacob, what's going on there tonight?
I don't know. Like, what?
Chris, this is amazing. I'm
gonna see if we can find anything. There's a video of a guy on a bike getting charged at by ICE agents and escaping on said bike. Is there a story behind this? Was he an illegal immigrant? What a fuck. I'm also proud of people standing up for their city. Hell yeah, dude. For the new retro taco box, that Cool Ranch taco is fuego. Fun fact, I worked at Taco Bell when the Cool Ranch tacos first dropped, and I took a picture. I might even still have this picture somewhere, if I can find it. A picture of the Cool Ranch box a couple days before they were actually released to the public. But it was I saw it like in the storage wall. We had our first box of Cool Ranch taco shells. I remember the day. It sits right here in my heart. This Charlie Chaplin versus the Keystone Cops thing. Yeah, he does. It is pretty funny. Word indeed. Yeah. Okay. So it was a taunt turned chase. He said, "I'm not a U.S." Okay. He said, "I'm not a U.S. citizen." They rushed and he biked away. When his phone dropped, agents moved in. He picked it up and escaped on the bike. Despite posts calling them ICE, local reporting identifies them as U.S. Border Patrol. It doesn't say police. It is based. Was he undocumented? There's no confirmed identity or immigration status in the reporting. The only on-record detail is his taunt. "I'm not a U.S. citizen. No arrest was reported." The video ends with him riding off. Pretty funny. Pretty funny.
Jacob Soboroff is MSNBC's national political and senior national correspondent. He joined.
Oh, I didn't even see Trib. I didn't actually see that it was a dono, but thank you so much, Trib, for the $10 supporting the stream, supporting the dream, supporting my Taco Bell addiction because I'm a fiend. I will get a retro taco box in your honor. Thank you, Trib, so much. Really appreciate that. Follow Trib's lead and further fuel my Taco Bell addiction. Thank you, Trib. So phone retrieval was his crime. Don't do it. Not in my watch. Not in my America. Wait, you don't get a lifetime supply of Taco Bell? I did when I was there, dude. By the way, when I worked at Taco Bell, I weighed 250 pounds. Which is more than I weigh now, for sure. A lot more than I weigh now. I was a big boy. I ate a lot of Taco Bell. Yeah. Like 60 or 70 pounds more than I am now. 250 pounds at 5'6". I'm 6 foot, Ride. I'm a 6 foot man. I'm a grown ass man. All right. I'm 6 foot tall. I'm not even 5'11". I'm actually 6 foot. Working at Taco Bell is an L for your diet. It was the way I did it. I mean, there are ways you could eat healthy at Taco Bell. But like I was like, not give me that nacho cheese. That nacho cheese has so many calories in it. It's crazy. You got to go careful on the nacho cheese. I eat a lot of it now because I'm like trying to actually eat more calories, but I should eat more like protein-based calories. But still, that cops thing needs to be a short, and then the Keystone cops chasing Charlie. Yeah, that'd be funny. Get to it, chat. All right.
He joins me live from Chicago, not far from where that footage was taken. Jacob, what's going on there tonight?
Chris, this is amazing. I was just thinking this was almost exactly 4 months to the day that you and I talked on the streets of LA after that first raid in downtown Los Angeles brought hundreds, if not thousands, of people to the streets. It feels like deja vu. And I say that because this is a jubilant atmosphere. These are people who do not and will not tolerate federal troops, whether they are highly kitted up Border Patrol agents or members of the National Guard on the streets of Chicago. You know this better than anybody. Tonight is a critical playoff game for the Chicago Cubs. A lot of these people could be...
During a Cubs game. Glitch says, fucking lie, bro. It's all garbage. My roommate was a manager, and one time on all he brought home fucked up my stomach up. But it was good. No, I didn't say... Well, like, I would say... Like, because you can get everything like fresco style. Like, tell me, like, what's so bad about getting a fucking chicken taco with like lettuce and pico de gallo, or like one of the like fresco bowls with like guacamole and shit. Like, if you get like if you eat like the 5-layer burritos, the beefy nacho burritos and all that shit, or like a fucking grilled cheese burrito, like guac is high. Yeah, but it's also high in protein, right? Doesn't guac have a lot of protein in it? Relatively. Also, like, fat's not necessarily bad. This is back in the Cool Ranch taco days, like decades ago. I don't know what they have now. Well, this is what I'm talking about. When I was there, I could have gotten everything fresco. I just didn't. I love fucking sour cream. Now I make like I buy like tubs of Greek yogurt and I mix in like taco and ranch seasoning and like some hot sauce, and I use that as like my main dip for like, even what I'll do is I'll order a bunch of Taco Bell and then I'll like eat it with my Greek yogurt, like spicy ranch, which is fucking peak. So good. High protein taco dip. Oh my god. I put that shit on everything. So good. Yeah, chicken tacos are not even that bad if that's all you get. Add some, yeah, black beans too. Yeah. I don't really fuck with their black beans. I feel like I like black beans. I just didn't like Taco Bell's black beans. I didn't like whatever I don't know what it was about them. It might have just been like some weird food aversion that I had. I don't know if I actually like tasted it and didn't like it. Trust me on what? I'm literally just saying, like, you can get chicken with lettuce and like diced tomatoes and shit. Like, what's so unhealthy about that? Wait, I've been hearing about Taco Bell for the last 10 minutes. Yeah, this is a Taco Bell stream now, okay? I should be sponsored by Taco Bell, realistically. I eat so much fucking Taco Bell. Like, it is like my favorite thing. Ryan doesn't like black beans, confirmed racist. True. Nacho Bel Grande was the go-to for me back in the day, or Mexican pizza. Yeah, I never really fucked with like Nacho Bel Grande or the Mexican pizza, really. Wow, Ryan. I know, I've been exposed. Sorry. I've been caught black bean handed. Okay, do you want to go back to politics? Like, that shit is so depressing. I'd rather talk about Taco Bell at this point. No, I feel you. It's nice to get away from it for a second, but let's go back to the military troops arriving in Chicago on Trump's orders. Let's go back to that. Thank you, Are We Not Men, for spamming your emote.
Could be doing something else, sitting in a bar, watching television. They're out here because most of them say they're here to protect democracy. I've not seen anything like this in Chicago. I spent a lot of time here. You know, my wife's from here. Look at this. This is Michigan Avenue in the middle of downtown Chicago. Here, too, hundreds, if not thousands of people. And it's not a feeling of anger. It is not a feeling of terror, which is being felt in much of the other parts of the city and of the Chicagoland area, where they're... When
was the last time a woman cooked food for you, Ryan? Do you cook? I do cook. I mean, my sister makes food sometimes. I'm going on a date this weekend, guys. I'm going on a date. So maybe she'll cook for me. I don't know. I mean, we're going out for the date, so we'll see. Jelly trying to cook for a motherfucker. Listen, I may be going on a date, but we're not exclusive yet. If you want to cook for me, Jelly, the door's still open. I'm actually surprised to learn Ryan isn't gay. I am a gay passing straight guy. Many such cases. Everyone's surprised. It is a first date. We've been talking for a while, but met on Bumble. I'll cook for anyone. Hell yeah. I also hope I think it will. I think it will. We've been talking for a while. I think we've established a good like compatibility baseline. Eat out, LOL, cook for her. True. Maybe I will. Or eat her out, says Michelle Hunt. That's also an option, I suppose. Not on the first date, though. And we'll see. Who knows?
They're indiscriminately going around picking up people, not who are violent criminals or the worst of the worst, but I'll give you two examples that I saw myself. A 53-year-old mother going to pick up meat to make a stew.
For all I know, she's watching this, studying right now. So, hi, if you're watching this, listen, my chat's unhinged. And I'm also a little unhinged, so. If they're attracted to you, you should check immediately. They aren't trans. It just takes a calm down ride. You guys are ridiculous.
Stu from Mexico, who has been here for 30 years and is now in the Broadview ICE Detention Center. Another one is two gentlemen who are on their way to work as mechanics, literally going to pick up a cup of coffee in Cicero, 90% Hispanic, 90,000 people there, the most Hispanic neighborhood in all of Illinois. And Border Patrol rolled up on them. Literally, the guys left their coffee cups there. They detained both of those guys. One of them's already in Georgia on his way to being deported. There, they're angry. There, they're terrified. Here, the energy is it's electric.
Jacob Soboroff bringing us that live.
Woogie, 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 woogie. That is something I could never imagine myself hearing in my life when younger. We met on Bumble. I dated a girl. I've only there's only one person I met on. One other relationship in my life. We met on Hinge. A girl I dated for like a year. We met on Hinge. But every other person I've dated was like we knew each other from in-person situations. But Michelle's right. If you grab her dick as a guy, that makes you gay. That's true.
Live dispatch from Michigan Avenue tonight. Jacob, it's so good to have you there. Keep up with us. Thank you.
It's a fucking lie, bro. Voluntarily goes on panels to talk about things none of their audience want to hear and will actively pay to kick him off. But yeah, his chat is unhinged. Wait. I mean, you guys are kind of unhinged. I like it, though. I said I'm also unhinged. Look, there's a reason you're all here, okay? And it's because I'm awesome. But you know what's not awesome? Is that ICE shooting that Chicago pastor in the head with a pepper ball. That was not awesome. That was disgusting. Disturbing. Not cool. Not cool, ICE. You're the only one live. That's why we're all here. Well, good. Like the stream, then. Have you liked the stream? Have you supported the stream? Have you donated to the stream? Have you gotten a Radical Coder channel membership? If you don't, then I'll post these angry jiggles. Are We Not Men says, Ice, Ice, baby. As in, Ice are babies. True. Cowardly babies. Fill a hungry market. W capitalism. True. Support the stream, support the dream, support the ween. And if you cannot support with your funds, you can support with your thumbs. Like the stream. But with all of that in mind, I think I am actually probably going to leave soon. But I'll read a few more messages. Are We Not Men okay? I wouldn't be sure. Let's see. Ride says, I almost subscribed when I thought you called those jibaboos. What the fuck does that mean? I mean, whatever, dude. Thanks for hanging out anyway. Video dating used to be big. Ever see that movie Singles? And one of the tried video dating, I think her name was Debbie Hunt, that added some humor to that movie. I have not seen that movie. Video dating used to be big. Did it? It is nice to be off on a Friday. Congratulations, Jelly. I hope you're enjoying your Friday off. I think he needs to get deported. Yeah, watch out, Are We Not Men? Fuzzy! Fuzzy has the coolest colors. Look at that. Did you know that you can also have cool colors like Fuzzy? I mean, you might not be able to get Fuzzy's exact cool colors, right? But you could have your own cool colors by using ! chat color and then a space and then a hex code, your own, whatever your favorite hex code is, or you can use the ones I have here. I wouldn't recommend this exact combo, although the Cosmo Wanda text color name color combo is kind of based. The orange doesn't really vibe with it. It's kind of a demo. But yeah, Fuzzy has a very, very cool color scheme going on here. Fuzzy! Glitchin says, Are We Not Men is fine, just dumb. You gonna take that, Are We Not Men? Fuzzy Bay. Are We Women? Singles is a Cameron Crowe movie. Interjected in the movie is a Seattle music scene. Interesting. I lived in Seattle for 6 months, give or take. Crazy times. Weird times. You should watch Singles, Ryan. Maybe I will. Are We Not Women? That's a pretty good meme. You for sure lived in Seattle or Portland, and that's just me stereotyping. I lived right next to Pike Place Market. I lived in an Airbnb there for like 6 months last year. Fucking beautiful place. I wish I had Umbreon there. Holy shit. I wish I had Umbreon back then. But if I hadn't moved back to Florida, then I would never would have gotten Umbreon. So that worked out well. Fluzzy. Thank you, thank you. Not maybe. I command you to do it. Then get back to me on your full enjoyment of said movie. Just kidding. The best way to convince me to do something is by supporting me with your dollary dues. We love dollary dues from all sorts of countries, from all sorts of cultures even. We enjoy dollary dues. I think my mouse just died, but okay, fixed. Hey, Kissy Cat, good to see you. Hey, Are We Not Men's not even subbed and he has an emoji. How are you? You've got a membership too. I didn't even know you could keep your membership if you weren't subbed. But I appreciate it. Also, like and subscribe if you have not. True. And you can get a Radical Coder gifted membership so that you can use Are We Not Men's awesome emote. Highly recommend. Yo, Testy Johnson. Testicle Johnson with the 5 Radical Coder gifted memberships. Micah Heglin, congratulations. Defnose says, are you cheating on me? Wait, who? Shazzy also got one. Mitchell Blackmore got one. Ben Thorpe, a.k.a. Abel. Ben Thorpe himself has been gifted a Radical Coder channel membership. And Marilyn, good to see Marilyn as well, has gotten a Radical Coder channel membership. Tessie says, fuck. He is disappointed that... Yes. Kissy Cat has the membership. Showing off the baby Umbreons. Showing off the weens in the chat. Well, thank you anyway, Testicle Johnson. Appreciate that. Thank you. Now make him dance, Testy. True, make me dance. Rip Thorpe. True. Does that mean Ben's watching? I see you, Ben. Yeah, we love Kissy Cat. It's good to see you, Kissy Cat. I haven't seen you here in a while. We love Def Knot. Can I put my balls in you jowls? No thank you. Ridiculous. Well, you know what? I mean, we got so many cool people here. I'll stay alive. I was gonna end stream soon, but I'm not going to. I like this group here. I like this little this community we've gathered. So I'll stick around for a little bit. What do you guys want to talk about? I already went through all the stuff that I planned on covering today, or at least like during this stream. I'm gonna send a link. Okay. I'm ready to receive the link. What's Sekou? You go over the ceasefire, I assume? I actually haven't. That's actually a good point. What's the latest on the Israel-Palestine ceasefire? Yo, Kissy Cat also gifting 5 Radical Coder gifted memberships. Katie Mars got a gifted membership. We love Katie. Thank you, Katie. Or thank you, Kissy, for giving Katie one. Imperious is ridiculous, but happy to have you as a member as well. Amanda, I don't know Amanda, but congratulations, Amanda. Dirty Dalish, friend of the stream, Dirty Dalish has gotten a gifted membership. OTW Live, I'm not sure I know who that is either. Yo, Trib coming with we got another 5 gifted memberships. So shout out Testy, shout out Kissy Cat, shout out Trib. 5 more gifted memberships. CC Carey has gotten one. Hank Oflameo, who was on the stream yesterday, has gotten one. Time Cat has gotten one. Nefarious Numbat has gotten a gifted membership. Tron has gotten a gifted membership. Lauren says, don't bring up Imperious or he will come here and harass me. All right, Imperious, you cannot come harass Lauren. That is against the rules here. Yes, W Trib, Major Trib W. Kind of wanted to see if I could get myself with that. I don't know if that's how it works. But there is one way to make sure that you get yourself. Just so you know. I mean, you know what to do, Trib. If you want to make sure that you get your own. But thank you, nonetheless. Seriously, I appreciate it. See, yeah, Are We Not Men shows up in chat and people just start throwing money. We love that. Thank you, Are We Not Men, for convincing people to spend money on me, I guess. Love that. Thank you guys so much. Seriously. So cool. Really appreciate the support. It means the world to me. All right, Michelle's got a link for us.
Go, let's go. Can I put my balls?
Come on. Is this like a song? Am I gonna get copyright struck?
Go, let's go. Can I put my balls in your jaws? Your jaws. Balls in your jaws. Can I?
That's crazy work there. But thank you. Thank you for sharing, Michelle. Ridiculous. Taking credit for someone else's wallet is nasty work. Wait, did I do that? Oh, Are We Not Men did that. Yeah. Are We Not Men, you could also give us some money, you know? I provided you so much entertainment. W charitable donation. Seriously. That will be. It is catchy. It's already like I've only heard the first like 10 seconds, and it's so catchy. Welcome back, Z King. We've got a ton. We've got 15 total gifted memberships. That's crazy. Thank you guys. I'm wheezing. We love jelly here. No, for real though, in a meta ethics debate, who would win, Albert Einstein or Alex O'Connor? I think Alex. Alex has like Alex has had the ability to use the internet to research philosophy, and he has a philosophy degree. I don't know if Albert Einstein got a degree in philosophy specifically. In a meta ethics debate, like, I don't know if Albert Einstein study like meta ethics specifically. I mean, I guess he probably did to some degree. I feel like he's more of a, like, specifically physics guy, but I just don't. Maybe I just don't know that much about Einstein. There should be a meta ethics debate bracket. Maybe. Yo, Trib getting himself a membership, and Michelle also getting a membership. Yo, thank you guys. Thank you both. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Trib. Enjoy your memberships. Yo, spam some fucking emotes, guys. We have so many emotes. So many cool emotes. We even have a spam emote. You all have access. All of my members. All the people who just got gifted memberships. All the people who got their own memberships. All the people who have had memberships from previous gifts or previous purchases. Like, you have access to all of these amazing emotes. So many great emotes. How much to make slop AI music content? Hey, I'll do it for a small like a $5 dono. I'll make you a song polygraph. What do you want? I got some Suno credits. Thank you. Bro, Albert discovered E equals MC squared. What does that have to do with meta ethics? I know he has a smarts. BB Umbreons. Yes, W Michelle, W Trib. Even W, are we not min? The Cry Cloud. We love the Cry Cloud. Ryan AI. Actually, AI Ryan is Lil Coder, who's right here. This is my Lil Coder. This is my AI persona, Lil Coder. He makes some great music. My little coder. My little coder. My little coder. He'll always be in our hearts. Deploy Ryan AI. True. I'm asking more from a fight this battle perspective. I don't understand what you mean by that. Sipping Squirtle. Oh, like how much do we have to... Oh, I see. I'm sorry. I was in the grift mode, you know. How much do we have to actually fight them musically? I mean, just make your own music. Like, literally benefiting off the backs of labor of robots. Have you not seen any apocalyptic AI movie? I've only seen a few, actually, now that I think about it. They're going to start pushing mass propaganda soon. Yeah, no doubt. Be sure to like the video, y'all. So true. So true, Kat. Thank you again. Spouses, I'm supposed to be getting ready for the day. I don't feel like it. Well, I'm happy that you're hanging out with us instead. Yeah, fuck getting ready. It's okay, I'm scared of that mode. The AI is their money burn, basically.
Go, let's go. Can I put my balls in your jaw? Your jaw.
Okay. Moving on. So I'm usually all about local AI, but if we waste their money and use it against them, that is hurting them. There's something to that. I keep saying, I've been saying this for months now. Like, I want the people who are skeptical of AI, the people who are anti-AI, these are the people with the ethical, like, these are people who have, like, ethics that align with mine in a lot of other ways. Their concerns are ones that I want to see channeled through AI. I want to see those people embrace AI and use and apply their ethics in like, new, interesting ways to fight the good fight, you know? AI is only good at making average stuff. I mean, this is a pretty cool thing. I made this dashboard about presidential power and the Insurrection Act entirely with AI. Oh, you guys, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I've had the chat color thing up this whole time. Maybe this little dashboard gets cute. It's got like breakdowns of the legal authorities, breakdown of the administration actions, court rulings, crime context. It's got little charts and everything. It's got a timeline. All this completely AI generated. The truth is, if you're an entertainer in any field, you might be fucked. It's not that AI can do your job better, but they can do it good enough and faster than any of you can. You won't be replaced. Well, there's many fields that you likely won't be replaced by AI, but you will be replaced by someone using AI. I myself am someone using AI to be an entertainer right now. My stuff is too good to waste on AI, maybe. Fuzzy eating peanuts. Trib is afraid of Skynet. Perhaps reasonably so. You can't even have AI generate an image of an overflowing wine glass because it thinks a full wine glass is how normal people fill a wine glass, not the edge. Generate an image of an overflowing wine glass. We'll see. We're going to put Michelle's claim to the test in real time right now with ChatGPT 5. We're going to find out if it can generate an image of an overflowing wine glass. Infallible Fell says, so you want self-loathing robots. I don't personally. I'd hire AI before a Republican. True. By definition, it's never going to be anything special. It can be okay, even good, but like, I feel like that's like a subjective judgment. But I hear you. Reddit analysis. You're measuring tech based on video of Will Smith eating spaghetti. I mean, it's gotten really good at making Will Smith eat spaghetti, right? Like really good, really fast. The full wine glass test is a good representation of the limits of current AI. Well, we're about to see. We're about to see how this holds up. Until I see AI frame a house, I'm not worried. That's fair, are we not, Min? He eats it good now. I mean, not bad. Actually, not too far off. Make it even more full and overflowing. The glass should be completely full. Well, did I fuck up? Or did it fuck up? How much control do you have? I mean, quite a bit, I'd say. How many jobs do you steal? Oh, I see. Yeah. Will Smith eating spaghetti is old AI new now it sucks. I mean, it looks pretty good. It's not impressive anymore, I guess. It's not really overflowing, more like a splash. Yeah. You want to ask it to make it full to the brim. Okay. Make it full to the brim and overflowing. Show the bottle pouring into the glass and the wine flowing over because the glass is too full. Look at the highlights. Pause chat. To the brim is wild. I'm a glass guy. I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him. Might as well put the lime in the coconut at this point. You tried Sori yet? Not the new one. But my cousin actually offered me a code, he had a whatever you call it. He has like a join link or something. Put the lime in. We could do that. Loading. True. Glass is one of the most challenging things to photograph. Was never Trump when he was just an infant. True. Nobody fills a wine glass to the brim and nobody takes a picture of it, so AI doesn't actually know. Well, you're cooked. You're cooked. Totally cooked. AI just destroyed you. Totally fucking bodied, dude. It is over the brim. Wait, isn't that exactly what we were talking about? We said overflowing. That's exactly what the conversation... It's like halfway in the glass. What are you talking about? It's like splashing over. Also, those drops are fake as fuck. I'm pretty sure we just it's a coder W. I'm pretty sure AI just like destroyed you. Yo, we got 17 new memberships this stream. That's crazy. It is not bad. Do it again. Even more full. It's like foaming up past. I see what you're saying. If you think that's what full to the brim wine glass looks like, I'm owned. Look, I'm not saying it's perfect, but like, it's not bad. It's not that bad. It's pretty fucking good. That's a real thing. Yeah, this is a real picture. I like supporting your stream. You're doing God's work if God existed, which he doesn't. Based. Where's Umbreon? He's right here. Hey, Bobby boy. Hey, Bobby boy. Oh, stinky dog. My sweet dog. He's right here. He's like, I'm ready for a walk, Dad. I'm waiting for a walk. I want to go play. I want to go walk to Walmart. Has anyone ever filled a glass to the brim? Pretty sure it's impossible. Now all I can think about is have you ever been swallowed up? That's crazy. The idea of having the bottle and pour into it is good. Yeah, that helps, I think. The best part of AI is the mess ups. Probably true. AI is a man because it's similar to the mysterious female. Oh. Like, look, again, pretty good. Pretty fucking good. That's what I want from AI. Fuck ups. That's my good boy. Not AI vor porn. He's so sleepy. He's a sleepy little dog. He always seems sleepy. You're a good boy. Look how tough he is. Oh, this is my boy. I donated a picture of cats in spacesuits floating through space. Congratulations. 2 of them were in spacesuits. 1 of them was floating without any gear or mask. Oh no. I have yuppers. Just had to hit me with the cuteness of every time. Every time. AI works like magic. It is pretty cool. Even more full. Way more full. I don't know how I could get more full, but... Sausage nose. True. He is a little sausage nose boy. Now the droplets are going in every direction. That's true. That's a good point. I mean, it's weird. Like, it's the way some of them are like, if we just like center in like around the glass, it actually looks pretty good. Look at my baby floofers. Can you make it so it's full but not overflowing? Oh, I'll try that. Right, ask it to create a human, then ask it to draw the line where the head ends and the neck begins. Create an image of a human. We'll start there. But also I'll try what Michelle said after it finishes this one. Just up to the brim. Yeah, we'll try that. Then re-ask to see if it varies. Okay. I would just keep going and going and not get... She is like, okay already. Look into different shapes. They're like in zero gravity. Have it generate a climb bottle. Ooh, that's a good idea. Oh, look! It worked. It's even more full now. Okay, now show it. What was the exact phrasing? Just up to the brim. Just completely full. Just to the brim. not overflowing. No overflow at all. Just completely full to the brim. And while it does that, we can investigate our human. Still cooking. And then we'll try the climb bottle next. Filled with water instead, maybe. With water pouring in like the wine glass. More! The more full is disturbing. Look at this guy. Now, draw it again with a line. What was the exact phrasing? With a line where the head ends and the neck begins. The precise line. We're gonna Loki wager this motherfucker. Is that a young Stephen Miller? No, young Stephen Miller did not look like that. We've seen videos of him recently. Not bad. A little foam. A little bit of wine foam, which is kind of weird. But like not too bad, right? A crack pipe emoji. I made a crack pipe. This interesting. It's probably using beer images. Oh, maybe. Rubik's. We love the Rubik's emote. I have a Rubik's Cube right here. Right here. AI progresses very quickly. It sure does. All right, let's see. We're going to solve this. There you go. It drew it just around like the base of his face. It is a speed cube. This is actually an AI cube. What's called an AI cube. It doesn't actually have like AI specifically, but it has a it has like Bluetooth in it, so it actually connects to my phone, and I have an app that will show you the exact state of the cube in the app as I'm turning it. Age him to 70 years old. Maybe I will. So you can have a live stream cube slay this. Yeah, it is. It is actually. I've done it on stream like once before. I've showed my my app connected to it. It is actually really cool. It has a charging case. See, with a cute little dog my friend gave me. Cute little dog sticker. So good. Shout out homegirl. You know who you are. Thank you for the doggy. Make him smoke a cigarette? Why? Okay. I think that's enough. Who's streaming? Where do you guys want to go? I gotta go walk my dog. I gotta walk my weenie. Also, thanks to the newest sub. Somebody joined today who wasn't subbed before. Because we are at now 1,057 subscribers, which is pretty cool. Pretty pog. If I do say so myself. We're definitely not done for the day. I will obviously be back live later. But please like the stream if you've not liked the stream. Please continue to support the stream if you can. If you cannot support with your funds, support with your thumbs. Excuse me. Let's see. You guys are gonna go to probably Kid. If he's actually, is he sleeping? Let me check. If Kidnutkin's not sleeping, that's where you're going, because he's looking at Operation Inflation on his title, and I love that. No, he's sleeping. He's sleeping. So we're not going there. Who else is live? Thank you, Testy. Ryan, do you have a PO box? No, but I should. That's a good question. I will get one and I'll report back to you. I'm gonna go throw myself with cleaning the litter box. We have 3 cats here, and we have one of those litter boxes that like rotates every once in a while to like clear itself out, which is cool. Have you heard that inflation has increased at a massive rate? Economists have even labeled it due to its speed. Is Google sonic inflation to find out more? I'm good, Testy, but thank you for that. Thank you. Jesus. Crazy work there. You guys are going to... we also need a JS. JS is streaming. If it doesn't have a Green Hills zone, I might have to invest in one of those someday. What, a sonic inflation? Ridiculous, you guys. I'm glad I got it instead of Googling it. I guess I could say you guys like Chaotic Truth. Or, I don't know. Marathon Kev. Kev's live. Let me see. What's he doing? I could send you guys over to Status Coup News. Oh, never mind. They're not live anymore. Let's do... Oh, Mike Ball's live. Did he just start?
Not the problem. Militants...
Send me to Belgium for vacation. Status just ended. Yeah. We just missed it. Kev. Yeah, I think I'm gonna send you guys to Kev. But what's he doing? Marathon Kev. Let me make sure that he's not like about to end.
Direction it sits.
Who the fuck is this?
And they call this a token.
Kev is AI.
So
Prove me wrong.
Look, right here on my screen, on this site screen, it says.
What the fuck? It's not even Kev. I'll send you guys to Connor.
Law enforcement organization.
Can I? I didn't see him in my list. Valor Media Network. Does he have raids off or something? Why can't I raid the Connor? That's annoying. Oh my god, I'm trying to get off. Pause. Kev, even though he hates commies. Discourse with Brandon for all the MR homies. Brandon has his own channel, does conspiracy news there too. It's to block raids of people who oppose. Oh, that's fair. Yeah. Alright, here. I'm going to refresh one more time. Let's see who's on the list. I'm just going to pick one and go with it. Probably Marathon Kev, even though it's not Kev. It's been taken over, but whatever. Alright. Type learning is radical in the chat. And also, I love you and drink water. And thank you again for all the support today. Awesome. And I'll be back live later. So, yeah, got to protect our right-wing fifis. Very sensy. Thank you again, Testy. Thank you all. Okay, bye-bye.